in the beginning.
In the beginning. ...
No, we're not playing Stellaris. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Don't worry, I need to click Sunhaven.
Oh yes, we're playing Sunhaven. England cooperative. No, casual. Yes.
PvP.
PvP. No. England casual persistent campaign and dice and roleplay. Because there'll be a lot of role playing.
There will?
I hope so.
Oh, crap. We'll just go sit awkwardly in silence. But
yeah, well, you do that anyway. All right, we are currently on Kay's portrait. I'm going to let it cycle through everybody's portrait, and then I will be doing the unlive thing. And time to drop the announcement. Where's my announcement channel? Oh, it's the events channel. Campaign 2, session 1. We'll be beginning shortly.
Good idea to join Simon.
Alright, that has been posted there. Time to send my link to the relevant people. Alright, that, and Sam's already seen the announcement, so he should be joining soon. Beginning soon. Alright, that is my links sent to my relevant people so that they know where to join. What do you mean bad? Badding.
Well, I meant.
Wow.
I meant this right here.
Alright.
That's what I meant.
Still.
Badding.
Bading. Yep.
Bading.
Bading.
Anyway, this week we're sponsored by HelloFresh. They do great.
Oh, I wish. I wish. All right, we're live now. Just so you know.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I wish you were sponsored by HelloFresh. I do like that stuff.
Just saying, HelloFresh, we're willing to do it. We'll do anything for money.
Anything for money. Anything.
No. So long as it's not going to cause any problems here.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty then. So we are back. Crabby D&D is back now. It's back on the menu, boys. Oh, it's been 4-ish months, and I'm glad we're back. But welcome to Campaign 2, Session 1. Now, before I get to introducing our players and then beginning the campaign, I'm going to do a quick short line of announcements just to get this over and done with. These announcements are going to span the majority of Campaign 2. However, if things change, I will adjust them, and I will reiterate them roughly every 25 sessions, because I got bored of saying it every session. So, our audio and everything provided, music and sound and ambience-wise, is otherwise provided by Tabletop Audio. You can go and check that out. It is a free site, and they do wonderful things for your D&D games. We play this on Tabletop Simulator. You can otherwise find it on Steam and otherwise relevant online gaming sites. I don't know if there's more. I only use Steam, but that's just me. The artwork is otherwise done by Zenosa, same as it was for Campaign 1. However, a few bits and pieces have been done by our very own Jamie here in the game, as Chloe's stuff has begun to be backed up a bit, and so as a result, Jamie has stepped in to finish off a few pieces that are needed. So if you notice that artwork has changed, please do keep that in mind, but it is otherwise a different style. It is no less any lower quality. With the maps, they are all created and designed by myself, and you may otherwise find me on my Patreon or otherwise go through various links to get in contact with me, whether it be the Incarnate Discord or my own personal Discord. Links will be below for stream, YouTube side things. Okay. And I think we are now ready to begin. Actually, no. One final announcement, actually, because I legally have to do this. I've just remembered. Some of the music, if it does get used, is from a game called Apothecaria. That is otherwise made by Blackwell Writers. If you are looking to play a weird game that is otherwise PDF based and you play it on your own, listening to music and going through various puzzles and challenges, it's quite fun, if a bit strange, but it is a fun thing to look into either way. So I would recommend looking into that, but I will be using some of the music from them. So anything else anyone would like to say before I get to introducing you all? No.
Potatoes.
So my crew for campaign 2, we have lost Sam, but Sam bowed out because he is handling his own D&D campaigns, and very good luck to him. I will be hearing intently as things do continue from there and listening in. But that doesn't mean that he hasn't had an impact in this campaign already, as he has helped me design monsters, encounters, and make life difficult / interesting for the players already. But that's fine.
Oh, no.
So I have with me here today Jamie,
Yo.
Harlan,
Hello.
Suds,
Greetings.
Simon,
Hello.
Infernal,
Hello.
and new Jamie.
Hello.
Yes. So, without further ado, let us begin Crabby D&D, Session 1. If you could all mute up for me, please. Welcome. Do take a seat. I presume you're all here to hear my work. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as introductions are in order. For you see, I am the storyteller, but I know all of you, Simon, Harlan, Infernal, Jamie, and Suds. I have read your tales from before, and seen where you rose and fell for many of you. However, today you bring a new friend to my table. Another Jamie. This will get most confusing, so let us refer to you as New Jamie from here on in. So, take a seat and relax. Let me begin your stories you have spun. This adventure takes us deep below to a land previously known as the Shattered Crowns Alliance. The Shattered Crowns Alliance was a vast land that covered 60% of the southern hemisphere, with the other 40% being coated in an ancient swampland and barren wastes. However, 45-odd years ago, a war broke out between the leaders of the Alliance and what was known as the new founded Empire. Under the guidance of an unknown ruler, the Alliance sought to bring the Empire down and bring about the return of their true ruler, Ringar, an ancient scion of Devad, who tried to take power before, some 300 years before that. With the Empire winning this war, and the Shattered Crowns Alliance was broken into 4 main factions. The northern regions along the coast became known as the Beastlands, that belonged to the folk of centaurs, minotaurs, and skin-shifters, who were enslaved and persecuted during the Shattered Crown's reign, are now the lands of trade, commerce, and a fresh start for many. The eastern central region, south of the large mountain ranges and dense with forest and wastelands, lie the Dawngrass Majocracy, a place of magic and study, dedicated to the preservation of history and magical power, yet holding themselves higher than many others due to their higher magical strengths and constructions. The southern regions that cling to the southern polar cap is clad with spiny fir trees and sheets of snow and ice, a treacherous land to be sure, and that is laden with mountain peaks and bands of marauders who pick from the folk north of them, raiding and pillaging their lands or hunting from the harsh wilderness that resides within and under the rule of a single king, the Ice King's domain. And finally, where our journey begins, within a land known as the Raldine Alliance, reforged from old and formed between many houses and powers from across its land. The Raldine Alliance is home to any and all people, a place of strength and discovery, recovering from an old history of bad rulers, rebellions, and war, now seeking a brighter future. However, where your stories begin is somewhere not so grand, I believe, and we shall see how your stories bind together, for you never can have too many friends. A growing trade town, known as Trenlaw's Rest, resides on the edge of the Taris mountain range, and is the hub of commerce and excitement, as it paves the way for connecting the northern regions to the Southern Alliance through safe passage. The streets, however, are somewhat sparse with residents, but bands of guards and mercenaries patrol the streets while the adventurers rest. The early morning birds begin to chirp and sing from the surrounding trees. The smell of fresh baked goods and meals seep under the doors for the first of you to wake, and ready for a new day. Lloyd and Damien. Within the Serving Giant Inn, a grand 3-story inn and tavern that is masterfully crafted from stone and metal and decorated with convenience crystals. The beds that you both slept in are comfortable, woolen and soft, but the alluring smell of sweet tarts, pancakes, cooked meats, and morning breakfast meals greets you both as you both begin to rouse from your slumbers. Lloyd, you are the first to rise from this 2-bedded chamber. Lloyd, an otherwise curious human male, with a completely bald head that is adorned with a number of deep red-eye tattoos that are a rare occurrence, or on rare occasion will shift and move as if like real eyes, yet never blinking. While surrounding his forehead and temple like a halo is a thin red yet somewhat messy stitching scar that surrounds his entire head and interrupted by a single black eye tattoo onto his forehead. His features are somewhat smooth and slightly roughened, yet hold a stern look to him. Covering his torso, he wears a sunset orange robe with a bright golden thread sash and vibrant red rosary beads that hang around his neck, while his shoulder is mounted by a thick half cloak, that is designed with a cream and dull brown color to it, arranged in a net-like fashion. Around his waist is a thick sash that is adorned with a few books that are held in place with holders, and to his side, as he stands, what looks to be a long staff-like weapon with a pointed metal tip and 2 protruding metal edges, similar to small sickles in design. Sat across from you is the man that you've come to travel with for a short while, as he washes himself off and pulls on his padding and armor. This is Damien. Dressing in a bright yellow padded armor and a bright blue brigandine armor, Damien is a young yet mostly spotless human male, with just above his shoulder-length curly light brown hair, a warm posture and gentle features adorn him. Wrapped around his neck is a long cloak with an insignia of the Order of the Crest, a cross shape with 4 diamond-shaped studs of differing colors at the tips, emblazoned on its surface and its otherwise chalky lime and olive appearance. To his side he carries a wide-brimmed metal kite shield and a hefty mace with 4 tapered corners on the otherwise smooth surface, currently being held by a set of similarly blue fabric and metal-backed riding gauntlets, while his hips are clad in a thicker padding armor and his legs are protected by chain leggings and a set of thicker riding boots. With him and otherwise outside is a large white stallion, one who you have met but is currently not relevant in this instance. The chamber you both dress in is simple, functional yet elegantly complex, with pieces of decoration in the form of brightly coloured curtains, tapestries, and a few fresh flowers that hang from around metal sconces that hold the crystals that produce the light blue light that encapsulates this room. Yet despite the morning rush, the room lies eerily quiet as you both begin to get ready.
Where do we need to go now?
I think the knight said that we needed to go to the Abbots today.
Right.
We needed to go to the old city.
Right, yes, of course.
So I could do with some
we should
breakfast first.
Yeah, we should get some food first. You ready to head down?
1 second. I just need to prepare something.
No problem. I'll wait by the door.
Okay. Thank you.
Those guys from last night. Hope they're not gonna be there now.
Oh, I forgot about them. What did they do again?
One of them was pointing a blade at me. So I was walking up the stairs.
Hmm. Did you recognize them? Seems rather
Nope.
unusual.
First time I've seen both of them.
Hmm. Well, I don't like the sound of them then. Have to keep my eyes out for them. Point them out if you see them.
Yeah. Let's hope they don't cause any trouble.
Hopefully not. Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's
All right,
get some
let's
breakfast.
go get some food then.
Okay. Heading downstairs for breakfast, you can already smell the plethora of meals being made, and a few other patrons to this inn and tavern have already arrived for their morning meals. You find a table to sit at and wait patiently before one of your early morning serving staff brings a list to your table from which you choose your meals. What sort of food do you think the two of you would have in this morning?
What is there on the list?
The early morning rush seems to have cleared out a few things, but they have what would otherwise be a full English breakfast: eggs, bacon, tomatoes, and sausages for those who might be more interested. If you're looking for something a bit more savoury, there are various potato waffles, and if you're looking to otherwise satisfy a sweet tooth, there are pancakes and sugar waffles also in preparation as well.
Hmm.
If not, there are healthier options such as fruit or oatmeal, nothing too extravagant, but still meals nonetheless.
I will take some sacred eggs.
I'll
Breakfast,
have
please.
a full breakfast, please. I need to recover after our fighting yesterday.
Hmm. Speaking of which, that poison didn't spread anywhere, right?
Not that I saw. No, I think
We cleaned
I
it
don't
all
think
out.
it got any further than my armor and my lance.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
I
I'm
think we
sure
cleared it all out.
once we get up to the abbots, they'll double check us. I'm sure.
Hmm.
Okay,
I take a look around to see if I see the two from last night.
and we'll get to that in just a mo.
Right.
Shortly beforehand, in a room not far from Lloyd and Damien's, is a room of two other individuals. Their room, however, is more well accommodated to their forms, with a king-size double bed for one occupant and a more pillow-covered bed for the other. The room smells faintly of sweet flowers, and the scratching of ink can be heard from the desk where the first of these two characters currently sits and writes a letter. Cat, a young and somewhat small centaur girl with long flowing blonde hair that reaches down to her ankles, is left dangling, but it is otherwise tied back, if left dangling, sorry, but is otherwise tied back and rests on her horseback, while a fringe of her hair is left unchecked that covers the right half of her face. She wears an otherwise colourful blue and red heart knitted pullover with a flowing darker blue cloak, which is held in place by a central pin and lined with soft furs that form a hood. Atop her head is a maroon headband with a lightly shimmering and glowing blue carved unicorn horn adorning it. Around her body, torso, over her shoulder, and down her otherwise bandaged right arm is a decorated and plated chain with a large arrow or triangular crystal head at the point of it. The chain seems lightly animated, like that of a snake, and does move from time to time, more often when she speaks out or moves her hand for gestures in conversation. Her personality, from first glance, seems fairly shy, but quickly morphs into curiosity and a bubbling excitement where it can, with a lack of fear of the unknown, yet held back to a certain extent by layers of maturity. As she otherwise sits there and continues to write this letter, the chain otherwise beginning to almost watch as she begins to scratch down on the piece of paper. While still fast asleep and snoring up a storm is her guardian and protector, who begins to awake from his sleep as the sound of movement outside begins to cut through the air more clearly as the movement picks up. Romulus, a broad-shouldered and otherwise dark grey male minotaur, with tall upright horns that are otherwise weathered and marked with battle and use, while his face and shoulders tell a similar story of conflict. Though his physique is menacing and stoic, his personality reflects more of a caring father, and a drive to assist where need be, and never to put something to waste. Such an attitude is reinforced by his bare-chested attire, which is otherwise mostly cloaked with a large white furred mantle, with rough bone ridges that run along the shoulders and spine. while his waist is adorned with a string of leather pouches and tools, each made from different hides and bone, crafted by Romulus himself. You wake from your slumber, Romulus, and you can see Cat sat over by the desk, currently finishing up a letter before folding it into an envelope and sliding it into one of her saddlebags.
What morning?
Morning. I've just been writing a letter to Alistair. I guess we should probably send that as soon as we can.
Tell him about the situation here.
Well, if not only just the situation, find out what it is that we can do to help. I mean, clearly I'm not allowed to send my crystal parrot out there because, they get upset at that.
Hard to tell exactly what would be all right, but I suggest we have a word with whoever seems to be in charge, and go from there.
On the note of word, you've got that weird eye guy and the knight we need to try and catch. Not catch. Well, talk to them at least.
See if they're what exactly happened.
Definitely. But no. Oh, the letter is written. Everything
Very
is
well.
done. Are you ready for breakfast? Well, I guess you're not. I mean, you're probably going to have to get dressed. But then we can go for breakfast. Do you think they sell waffles?
It's hard to say. I would suggest asking or checking a menu.
Yes. Well, I hope I can get waffles.
I'm quite interested to see what is going on with those eyes.
Do you reckon you can see out of all of them?
Well, they did move.
They did.
However, could be some sort of weird optical illusion tattoo.
True. I mean, it'd be an absolute nightmare to get safety glasses for that amount of eyes. Oh well, I guess we'll go nowhere dusty. I mean, it'd be a nightmare. But, yes. Okay, let's get ready and head to get food.
All right, let me just... Oh, wait, no, I am dressed because I literally just wear a kilt. Okay.
Fair. Let me grab my robe or my cloak. All my stuff. Bags. Yeah, I think that's all my stuff. Okay.
Oh, excellent. I head downstairs then.
Yes. Cool.
Okay. Making a decision on what to do, you head downstairs and begin to order your food from the barkeeper, as mentioned the previous day. Before you find a seat, you order up your expected meals and find a nearby yet isolated table. As you're both enjoying your meal, Kat, you notice a pair of individuals sitting down at a table nearby. Even though the dining chamber is slightly occupied with other individuals, these two characters stand out to you. As both of them you recognize from the day before. The first of these is the Knight of Paloon, who seems to have relaxed after whatever conflict occurred the day before, while the strange individual with a scalp covered in eyes catches your attention. As he looks over in your direction, the two of you meet eyes.
Yeah, I'm in car now. I'm not going to hold back. Hello, mister! The wave. Chain flailing in the air.
Infernal. You're muted if you didn't know.
Right, I forgot to unmute, sorry. I make an insight to see if I realize she's talking to me.
Go ahead.
We're looking directly at each other, but it's all good.
I mean, to be fair, I think Infernal is looking directly at everyone.
It's true.
As you otherwise look over.
17, yeah.
Yeah, as you otherwise look over, you see this young centaur girl wave to you, and the chain begins to animate, and you kind of there's a moment where you would look behind you, but the eye on the back of your head kind of glances, and you're like, "No, there's no one behind me." And you realise that she must be waving to you.
I wave back, kind of awkwardly.
We've made friends. He waved. Can we go see them? Well, at least, have we had our breakfast? Have we had our breakfast?
You've just sat. Yeah, you've just begun eating, so you've still got quite a bit to go. But
Okay.
All right, don't worry, I can fix this. I pick up the table and just drag it over.
Ah, very good.
go ahead and roll me an athletics check for that, there, please.
I look at Damien. Oh no, they're here.
Oh goodness, I forgot to get into roll 20. Oh dear. Could you roll me a
20?
d20? Not roll
Okay.
20. You know the one I'm talking. The tabletop is there. Look,
All right.
I play a lot of D&D in a lot of different ways.
Natural 20.
Nice.
As the rest of you, Damien and Lloyd, you watch as Cat takes, or as the young centaur takes a few steps back, and you watch as the Minotaur just kind of comes up with a very immediate and sudden solution as he wraps his hands around the side of the table, lifts, and walks over gracefully, nothing on the table spilling. You watch as the various cups and mugs with whatever sloshing liquid may be inside sway from side to side, but not a drop is spilt as he puts the table down right adjacent to your own before taking a seat. The chair miraculously
me.
have come with him.
Okay.
Sir, do we know you?
No, but you came in yesterday after apparently fighting whatever creatures are around, so we just thought we'd say hi and make sure you're okay and tell you that we're currently here trying to investigate it as well, so if you could tell us any information, that'll help, you know. Oh, hi, I'm Kat.
Sorry, I was talking to the big hulking minotaur that just like dragged the table over here.
Romulus,
Hi.
hello.
Why was
Hello.
your blade pointing at me last night?
My blade? Looks down at my dagger.
Mine definitely
I
wasn't.
don't know. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It shouldn't have been pointing at you.
I don't know. It was
blade are you
following
referring
me
to?
as I was going up the stairs.
You feel a tug on your right arm as Sochania
Oh,
has pointed at. Is currently still pointing at the eyeball scalped.
I see.
individual.
This is Cychania. She's not Blade. She's my friend.
Have you seen anything at all like this before, Lloyd?
No. She's your friend.
She's my friend.
Sentient blade?
Chain, actually.
She doesn't do
Okay.
much Blade stuff. She just kind of is there, and I talk to her, and she talks to me, and she doesn't really talk. What she does, she kind of nods and moves, and we're friends.
Kind of like a pet snake.
That's very good of you as a father to give your child a pet.
Father?
Well,
Well, I'm guessing the
sorry.
relationship here.
We are traveling companions. Though, admittedly, Cat is younger, we just happened to run across each other. We are in no way related.
it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? I mean, he's a Minotaur, I'm a Centaur. I mean,
All my family is. Never mind.
well, I do have a horn, but not natural horn like his.
And if you did have Minotaur horns, I'd want to smack you. The Hammerhorn clan are just the worst.
We need to talk about that at some point.
Said you're also here to clear out the monsters.
Yes.
And, well, the disease itself, as well as the monster slimes involved. I understand you encountered them.
Yes,
They kind of
damaged
ambushed us.
damaged my lance. Wasn't very happy about that.
You mean they actually affected its performance, or?
They singed the tip.
Right.
Okay.
Does that
Prefer
mean
to
they
have,
were acidic, or?
Did you set fire to them?
No, it was
Were
just.
they acidic?
I think it was just a slime, just sort of singed the wooden tip of my lance.
They were coarse. From what you remember, they were kind of a caustic exterior. It wasn't acidic to the point that it damaged the lance and questions its integrity. It was more of a light wood burn, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's not going to questionably change the function of the lance. It's just the creature itself seemed caustic to a certain degree, or lightly acidic.
What colour was it?
I think it was green.
It was greenish yellow, I believe.
Okay. How many were there?
It's just the one.
Just
But
one.
Yeah, just the
I
one.
understand from what the guards and the plague knights were saying that this has happened before.
No luck catching them slimes then. Just the one slime, actually. Sorry.
I assume you killed it.
If you didn't already all have inspiration, I would have given you inspiration for that one. That one made me giggle.
Nice. Presumably, as Kat says, you did kill it, right?
Yes, we did.
I don't suppose you kept any of the remains.
No.
Right.
Although there was some on my
think-
armor, but we washed that off.
I think all of the remains got destroyed.
Yeah, there was a lot of fire. From what I saw.
You witnessed
Yeah.
it?
I witnessed the aftermath. I saw you lot come in and I sent my familiar out. And
You're
How long were
familiar.
you following us?
yeah. No, not very long. I wasn't following you. It's you lot come into the tavern and we saw you and it's like, oh, they've thought what we're looking for. So when we went up to the room, I sent my familiar out to try and locate where it was that you'd been fighting, whatever it was. So I was trying to work out what it was that you'd been fighting, but then the guards told me off for sending my familiar and said that they'd shoot it down. And then there was fire. But not with my familiar. By the way, this is my familiar. His name's Jeff.
You watch as hopping out of her hood, you see what looks to be almost a strangely bright red parrot with a number of other colours mixed in. But something that's noticeable about it is that it's somewhat transparent in places, or translucent, as you see almost this prismatic ray of colour shining through almost these crystalline feathers that extend off of the surface of the parrot itself, where the tips are a lot more kind of hardened crystal, geometric in shape rather than traditional kind of fluffy feather that you would expect from a parrot. You also note that its eyes are completely glazed over with otherwise a angular gemstone-like eye on both sides. Kind of hops there for a moment.
Right.
Two
Any
pets.
other companions?
I was going to say Chania, you got Jeff, Romulus.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's everything for the time being. I mean, who knows what else I'm going to find. I apparently just seem to keep finding things, or making things, or...
I used to have a sock puppet I made out of a ferret, but I don't think that counts, and I left it back home.
Okay.
That raises question. A sock puppet made for... But you have hooves.
Well, but
Can
that
you
doesn't
wear
change the fact that the item itself was a sock puppet.
Mate,
Presumably. Again, I don't have feet, so I wouldn't really know. I usually cut a hole out of the bottom and use it as more of a leg warmer.
there he goes again. Poor animals. Be careful. If you have pets, you might use them for things.
He doesn't sort of use horses, does he, at all?
I don't know. What could you do with a horse, Romulus?
Well, you can make a very surprisingly efficient meat tenderizer with the hooves.
Could you please stop there? You don't say such things about the knight's horse.
You did ask.
And I don't understand under what circumstance would I be using your horse.
You
Isn't
just
that
don't do that
offensive?
to a knight's horse.
Isn't
Well-
that offensive to her?
I'm not a horse.
You see me
You're
eating a
basically
big old
half
beefsteak.
I have
Mm.
some horse anatomy, but I'm not actually a horse. That's like turning around to a minotaur and saying, "Oh, so aren't you a cow?" It's like, they're not cows. I'm not a
Yes.
horse.
That's actually deeply offensive.
Hmm.
However, Minotaur milk is delight. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, that's a bad. So many bad, horrible.
You see all the eyes just spike towards you.
Look, look.
Just the
All
horror
the
of my
eyes
face.
just
I
swing
started saying it,
forward.
and then my brain would caught up with me and like, nope, nope. There's no way that's good. There's no good way that works. Unless Minotaurs have separate udders, in which case I have questions. Anyway, moving on.
How did you find out about the monsters?
We're part of the Catalogers Guild. In part of our work with them and with a few other people, we were informed about the situation here and were asked to investigate.
Which guild, sorry?
The
Catalogers.
Catalogers. We're here to find out more information about the creatures, but also to assist where we can with the disease itself that they seem to spread. Speaking of, you should probably get yourself checked out.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be heading up to do that. Actually, we were asked to specifically by the Plague Knights.
They are very thorough. I don't suppose you encountered a particularly large plague knight with who seemed rather stubborn. Not stubborn. Forthright, blunt.
Well, unless you're talking about the one who's guarding the gate, I don't think so.
I don't think we met with any.
Excellent. Doesn't matter. Moving on.
You like a bit of
So-
waffle?
I think I'm still waiting for my my full English breakfast. But thank you.
What's English?
I don't know. I haven't read it in any books. What is English? Could get my notebook out.
That'll be
Full
that-
alliance-ish breakfast.
Full alliance-ish breakfast. Alliance-ish, yes. You watch
That'll be
at...
that'll be one for where your book breaks the fourth wall.
You watch as the icy blue tiefling barkeep otherwise wanders over and kind of just puts down the plate. There you go. These are the things you're after. You got your English breakfast for you. You're joining tables now. There's a
Yeah.
big table over there if you wanted to move to a bigger
We
one.
didn't
but-
really have a choice.
The table kind of just
Right.
got moved here.
They
But
they
let's
made
keep
eye
talking,
contact.
Keegan.
That means we're friends
Don't worry, I'll put it back.
Yeah, just put it back after you're done. If you've got any issues, just call the Plague Knights. They'll do what needs to be done. You're under their protection at the moment. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying your 2 meals, you two.
now.
And
Indeed.
there's your full English. And what did you order again, Infernal?
Eggs.
Eggs. Oh yes, sacred eggs.
Just
Yeah.
so many eggs.
And he puts down what looks to be almost this cereal bowl full of just scrambled eggs with one fried egg on the top. That's just got little bits of pepper, a few herbs on top. Here you go. That'll all be good for you. Your breakfasts are all done. If you need me, I'll be over at the bar.
Thank you, Master Halligan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bye-bye.
don't need the master, but thank you. He otherwise turns around and goes back to the bar.
I pray before I start eating.
I want to make it extremely clear.
Okay.
I am definitely eating a full beef steak.
For breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm making eye contact because it's kind of hard not to with Lloyd whilst I'm eating it.
Okay.
Lloyd tries to close all his eyes. as he tries to pray before starting to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Actually beginning to sort of cut a piece of bacon and just pretending nothing else is happening around him, just focusing entirely on his plate.
Mm-hmm.
God, I could just like looking at the eyes. What are the eyes
What
doing?
about
The eyes at this moment are doing their best to avoid eye contact, but they don't close when he closes his eyes. But you do know that they all kind of begin to look away as best they can. But as you begin to make eye contact, it is distracting him by the looks of it, as he does kind of stop in the middle of his prayer and then continue on.
I mean, I'm doing everything in my power to get in front of these eyes to try and work out what's going on here.
Okay.
I'm-
How invasive are we talking? Are we talking you're all the way up in his business, like trying to look over the eyes themselves,
Well,
or
I mean, not up, but about 30 centimeters away. Just like, look at the top of their head. There's one weird eye at the front that's not actually an eye. What's
I
that
believe
symbol
that's-
mean?
I believe it's called a millennium item.
Ah, excellent. So we could play children's card games later.
I'm sorry, we had to.
It was going to happen.
It was going to happen eventually, whether I liked it or not. Yeah.
No, I actually do have one question. When you said you were ambushed, were you unaware of the situation here, or is the reason you're here to deal with it, or
We're both heading through here, and then we saw there was a plague night, and there's like an encampment and stuff outside, and we thought, okay, we got to find out what's going on before we pass through.
We were told there was something here, some dangerous things, but didn't really know the actual specifics.
Plague nights weren't very forthcoming about what was going on. Just that it was a quarantine in force.
right? And well, you're actually quite famous, I suppose, because you encountered it actually in the high street, didn't you?
It just came out of an alley while we were heading to our inn.
You
Interesting.
destroyed a box.
How could you,
That poor box.
you monster? That box had a family.
Smaller boxes.
You know who else had a family? The person she murdered.
Who?
Oh? Someone died?
Yes,
It kind of absorbed them.
Oh no.
Oh.
kind of got absorbed.
It's just
Okay.
sort of like a
To
skeleton.
clarify, by the slime, right? Not the
Bless his
box.
soul. Yes,
By the slime.
kind of would be weird if the box consumed a human.
You
Although I
you
have
never
heard of those
know.
kind of things existing.
So how did that work? Did it just kind of like envelop her or spray her with something and then kind of just like gloop over her?
The latter.
Sprayed her and glooped over her.
No, just the
Oh.
gloop.
Just a glooped over her. Okay.
And did you? Was it like just disappeared or dissolved or?
No, he was inside for a while before he
Ooh.
melted, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little disturbing.
I don't know if I want to fight these things. They sound horrible.
But see, I've got a lance at the moment.
Okay.
I suppose that will
I
be
think
quite
we just let
useful.
those two go in the front if anything comes up.
I'm not going near anything. No, I've
Trust
had
me,
enough.
neither am I.
I've had enough scary things. I don't want to. No. Romulus can. He's strong.
Yeah, he looks pretty big.
And the knight can. He's got a long pointy stick, so
Oh,
it helps.
right. You're a knight. Does that mean you're a beholden to some authority figure or knight
I am
errant?
I am a knight of the Order of the Crest. If
Hey,
that is of any
Chris,
interest.
what's the Order of the Crest?
He's from
Go ahead and roll
Baloo.
me a history check. If you aren't proficient, make it with disadvantage because this is lore
Yeah.
you wouldn't necessarily
Can I
know
also roll something for the
Ah,
guild that they're from.
yes, I'm definitely
Yes.
proficient.
If you wish to go ahead and roll for the
Yeah.
guild, go ahead and given you haven't interacted with them, go ahead and roll me a history check. If you aren't proficient, make it with disadvantage as well.
14
Oh.
altogether.
I'm proficient in history.
14. Okay. If you aren't proficient, it'll be with disadvantage.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. For your 14, I'll say, as you otherwise think about it, Romulus, the Order of the Crest is something you've heard of before. You've never gone that far south, but you know that they patrol the roads from a city known as Paloon all the way up northwards to the edge of the Beastlands. You know that they otherwise oppose the Chainers, and they do general patrols around that area. That is the extent of what you know about them. You know that they are the Order of the Crest is the overall name for them, but they are divided into multiple sects and groups. That's probably the most you'd know about them, given your
All right.
lack of interaction with them, but you understand that they are the good guys.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no.
Catalogers Guild wise, what did you guys roll?
21.
10.
21 and 10. Okay.
Well,
with the
this is.
10,
Oh, I'm hearing snippets.
oh, okay, you're like, oh, there he goes.
Oh, he's out.
Given your lack of interaction with them there, Lloyd, you begin to kind of think you don't know of anything known as the Catalogers Guild. It's nothing that you've interacted with before, nothing you know of. It was never mentioned from where you came from, so you aren't entirely clear.
I'm back.
Welcome back. However, Damien, as you otherwise begin to think, you know of the Catalogers Guild. The Catalogers Guild, to your knowledge, they're relatively well known, not necessarily for all the good reasons. They're a group of individuals, typically monster hunters or habitat experiments and kind of identifiers, who tend to go from place to place hunting various creatures that are new or rare or unknown about, and they'll either bring back pieces or the creatures live to be tested, to learn everything there is to learn about those creatures. Not always for the best and most humane ways in some situations, but that's typically based on the hunter's methods. You know, the Catalogers Guild are known for accidents, where various creatures will be not released on purpose, but they do break out of their cages and they have caused issues. You know that the Catalogers Guild are present in Paloon, where you hail from, and they are typically a more responsible group within the main city. But you do know that they do spread through pretty much every corner of the Alliance and beyond to a certain degree. They aren't the nicest of people sometimes, but they're a great resource if you can get on their good side.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Well, we've got to meet someone called Alistair. Well, we're trying to meet someone called Alistair. Well, yeah, he's in the quarantine zone. And there's concerns that if we go in the quarantine zone, you can't come back out of the quarantine zone. We kind of don't want to be stuck in the quarantine zone. But we did find out there is a guy that has access to going in and out of the quarantine zone whenever he wants. And you've just got to get special permission. So it's one of those where, do we want to go in there and potentially get stuck, but then potentially not get stuck because we are doing things and we've not come into contact with stuff? Who knows?
Saying that,
I-
we've come into contact with you, so we might be infected with some horrible disease.
So polite, thank you. But by by quarantine zone, do you mean the old city where the abbots could be found?
Yeah, essentially. I mean,
Oh
that's,
yes, that is the quarantine
that
zone.
is a
If you go there,
quarantine
you're
zone,
stuck there.
Well, that's where we're heading.
We
After
have to
this.
go there, so
Oh, I guess you have come into contact with it. And now we've
It's
touched
been It's
you.
been nice knowing you.
Do we have to go to the quarantine zone, Romulus? Like, we've touched well, we've been near them, but I don't know how these things work.
You were unnecessarily close to my head earlier.
Oh, you saw me. So do all of these work then?
No,
Oh. How did
as
you
I
know?
could feel you breathing on my ear.
Oh, right.
They
But
do
they
move.
but they move though.
Yes, they do.
But you can't see from them.
They give me awareness, but no, I cannot see from every single one.
Ah.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna stop poking them. Can you see through this one?
Oh my goodness.
Don't.
I
Can you
grab
see
my
through
quarterstaff at this point.
this?
Get the hell away from my head.
Sorry, but really though, which ones can you see out of?
I think it's just these two front ones, like most normal people. So,
You should. Mm.
hmm,
Are you usually this invasive with unfamiliar people,
we
or
don't typically meet people. And it's, come on,
I
you
I
can't.
can
You've got to
tell, young
admit,
centaur.
this is quite strange.
Arguably, I was quite literally raised by wolves, so
Yeah. I mean, I've met
Mhm.
people, but I've never seen this, and they moved, and I was quite fascinated by it. And that symbol in the center of your forehead, what does it actually symbolize? Is it like a cult or like a family crest or something?
Are you done with your food, Lloyd?
Yeah, I am done. I think it's about time we head out.
Shall we not
Yes,
Hmm.
it was nice meeting you. Maybe we'll meet some other time.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're going that way anyway.
Ah, well, we'll see you later then.
Okay, we're just gonna follow, I guess.
I was gonna let them go, but no, this is so much funnier.
Okay. As Lloyd and Damien, as the two of you head outside of the tavern, kind of thanking for the food, Cat and Romulus, you follow closely behind, prying to a certain degree with various questions, as you see what look to be two plague knights currently outside, one currently leaning on a large hammer, the other one has what looks to be a shield and mace to his side as they otherwise wait. As one of them kind of looks you over and just kind of nods. All right, we'll head off this way. We'll get to the hospice, and you can get yourselves looked over. You've acquired new friends since yesterday.
I wouldn't refer to them as friends.
Involuntary friends, but yes.
Nodding in the background
Hangers on.
violently.
Are they a problem? Do we need to remove them, or are you?
I mean, I can deal with them.
All
Well,
right.
maybe not the tall one, but we'll see.
Oh, one moment.
Challenge.
I go back inside and move the table back where it was, and then come back out.
Okay.
You just from out there, you just hear it. Fixed it.
Okay then. This way then. As he otherwise gestures, and you begin to be led off towards the hospice. Meanwhile,
I'll back a bit.
Meanwhile, on the northern side of town, way before this has taken place, and going through the large iron portcullis gate, guided by a small group of guards, a group of caravans breaches the main entrance into Trenlaw's Rest, and join the thoroughfare in the cold morning mists, which are just beginning to be burnt off by the dawn, while the light blue crystals that light the street from tall lanterns crackle gently as the mist touches them. You are brought to the storage yard, a massive stone building with two main entrances, and a large number of carts and other hands who attend to the movement of goods around the otherwise beginning to wake courtyard. It is beginning to fill with its employees, and you can see what looks to be the various bits of greenery that surround the exterior of this courtyard and begin to breach the walls to the outside of this large trade depot. The main courtyard pulls in close as the caravan passes through one of these main gates, and dismounting from the back of the cart into the slightly overcast sun of the morning welcome is Vinny. Devilishly handsome and well-aged, Vinny is a bright red tiefling of a cunning yet charming nature. With a set of upright pointed horns and shoulder-length curly black hair, his facial features are a little sharp, yet his warming and welcoming complexion overrides any sense of intimidation from his lineage. With sapphire blue eyes and a single gold loop in his pointed back ear, he carries a fashion of graceful facial hair of similar night black sky as of similar night sky black as his hair. Vinny is dressed in a simple white sailor's style tunic of billowing sleeves that are kept in check by an ocean blue coat. Simple black trousers and a set of rimmed leather boots while attached to his belt, contained within two lightly decorated leather sheaths, are some well-kept and maintained scimitars, while a broad-hilted longsword pokes out from a wrapping between his back and pack. Not long after, everyone else has gotten out of the back of the cart, and as they begin to help to move the crates to pallets within the storage yard, Kay pokes his curious head out of the back of the cart. It's hard to say what Kay is exactly, however his form is small and covered with basic fabric clothing, and a large cloak and hood covers the majority of his form, yet from the top of a long-beaked plague doctor's style leather mask, two mouse-like ears rise up from the slits. The rest of his attire is mysterious, bar a patch of stark white fur that just below his chin around his neck area. Around his waist, a thin belt that hooks a small curved dagger sits alone and barren of any further accessories. Despite this, his character is that of a learning and curiosity, and a rather strange attraction to specific foods. He is a loyal character that ties to those who he has worked with, and often finds ways of making friends out of those troubled, while bringing the privilege or wrongdoers to their knees one way or another. Lisa, the burly Minotaur caravan leader, steps out and shouts out to the rest of the troop, piercing the gentle movement of the personnel and birdsong within the otherwise cold courtyard. Well, we're here now, so let's get this cargo off and get back north. I don't want to get caught up in whatever's going on here. Move it! As Ordok the Centaur begins unloading the crates, Beniggs, your smart yet otherwise haggled morning-haired dwarf, begins exchanging details of stock with the yard keeper. Molth, the charming Triton, begins arranging for the redistribution of supplies with the other caravans, and the two of you keep watch. Moon, your tabaxi salesman, sidles up to you both and says in a hushed voice, "I don't know what's going on here, but don't you feel we should be doing a bit more here?"
Vinny will lean in and whisper back. I struggle to disagree, actually. At the very least, I'd like to know what it is we've walked into.
I know. We're just delivering supplies. Surely there's something else we can do. I don't know. I don't want to get in Lisa's way. I know she's quite set on getting back home as soon as possible, so yeah.
Understandable. It would be quite a big disruption to get caught up here. But maybe I can take a look around. See if I can gain any insight.
You could.
The way
I mean,
the
we've still
guards act,
got-
we're not likely to get back out straight away. We might have some free time.
Maybe. I don't know. If Lisa wants to leave straight away, she might just try and barrel her way through the door if need be. You know what she's like. I'm just wondering, do we want to maybe take the supplies straight to the place they need to be? If the guards are taking them, that's one. If these plague knights are taking them, that's one thing. But if we can go there ourselves, well, maybe you, given the extra guard, but I don't know if I can. I don't know. I just want to help. I know the two of you don't necessarily have medical knowledge, and I don't particularly either, but I want to see if we can help. If this all blows north, there's a lot of people who are going to get hurt by it.
Hence the quarantine, I suppose. But wonder if the Plague Knights will tell us anything.
Possibly.
I mean, I can't imagine it's a huge secret necessarily.
I guess that's true.
The quarantine is disrupting information, but you'd think if they're willing to go to this much effort to keep it contained, they wouldn't be unwilling to tell people about it.
Maybe. Do you want me to do some digging, or shall I leave that to you?
I'll ask around. Are there any of the Plague Knights nearby?
looking around, you can see that there are plague knights currently at the storage yard, and you can see that there are a number of them that are otherwise beginning to gather. It looks as though they're preparing to move the supplies wherever they are needed immediately after they are removed off the back of the cart. You can see that all of them seem to be dressed in kind of a chainmail garb with kind of the olive or dark, kind of almost oily green tunic that goes over or fabric tunic that goes over the top of their chain armor and shoulders, with kind of a light hood pulled up and a long kind of mask, very similar to Kay's, currently poking out as they're otherwise looking around the courtyard. A number of them otherwise holding weapons to their side, or otherwise stationed in a way that they will collect the various goods and take them from there. There are a few scattered around. There aren't any particularly isolated guards, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any in like a small group, I might head over to one of them.
Okay. Yeah, looking around, you otherwise see what looks to be a small group of guards, or plague knights, I should say. You see that they are otherwise gathered off to one side, just inspecting the stuff as it's being offloaded. Now, Lisa otherwise has a shout at Moon for otherwise getting distracted before he goes back to offloading various bits and pieces. You're kind of watching, take a few steps over and sidle up to them.
Everything going okay so far?
Once these supplies are gathered, yes, we'll be able to get this sort of thing moved on. I wouldn't want to stick around if I were you. Move off while you can.
Oh, that bad, huh?
We don't want it spreading at all, but the less people that come in contact with it, the better, really. We're keeping it under control as best we can, but there's still things happening which we don't quite understand. So we're just trying to get the grip of the situation. Nothing to worry about, though. You'll be in and out as soon as you need to.
That's good to know. Do you need an extra pair of hands, though? You seem like you're, I don't know, run off your feet here a bit.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
So that is a 23.
It has been busy. We've had to deal with various, how should we say, breaches. Not necessarily in the quarantine, but whatever's causing this. There's been attacks around the city from various creatures. I'm not entirely sure what we can do. We're stretched thin and they're now coming out during the day, which is making it worse. Can't say I know what's causing it, though. It's problematic, to say the least.
Well, I'm not exactly an expert in medicine, but I do know a little thing about security. If it's creatures that you're having a problem,
Little bit.
sure there's something I could help with.
I don't know the full details, and at the moment we're just trying to contain the disease. If we can stop it from there, then that would be great. All I know is that we've been told to travel in bands of at least 3. Traveling on your own is too dangerous. We had an attack yesterday, and we're otherwise trying to contain it as best. We contained it as best we could, but the individual who was attacked otherwise passed away. We're doing what we can, but it's difficult. If you're looking to help, when we move these supplies, I can take you to the hospice. From there, they'll be able to tell you where you're needed. I know that they're accepting volunteers for any work, whether it be lifting, helping with anything of that regard. Security might be one thing. I know they don't have any task force, and it's not within our understanding or our leader's intentions to otherwise have us leave the town. You might be able to do something.
This hospice seems like a good place to visit, then.
We'll be taking the supplies there once they're offloaded fully. You're welcome to come with. I just don't know what your caravan leader's going to say.
I'll speak with her. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Alright. You're welcome to come with. The extra security could be worth it, actually.
No problem. Happy to help.
Okay.
Okay, I will. First of all, was it uh was it Moon that we were speaking
Moon.
to?
Yes. Yeah, it was Moon. I'd say Kay, you're probably still watching over everything, but you otherwise are hearing the conversation lightly from your distance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll head back over to Kay first of all. Did you catch all that?
Mostly, yeah.
Listen, I don't want to get you caught up in anything that's gonna get you in trouble.
I got someone I want to talk to. They're here. I need to talk to.
Oh, okay. Do you know who?
Uh,
I won't pry if it's personal, but
somebody named Head Abbott Vincent Cunningway.
Head Abbott Cunning. Do you happen to know what he's an abbot of?
Nope. Maybe, I don't know. Someplace. Some school, I think. I don't remember very well. I just know he's here.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like we're going to get a completely free run of the place to search of our own volition however we want. But we could go check out this hospice.
What's a hospice?
It's where they're holding people while treating them or otherwise looking after the situation.
Sick people
Be a lot-
place.
Partly. At least I imagine so.
Huh. Okay.
But there could be important people there. There might be somewhere we can ask around.
Okay. Also,
Okay.
I need more food. So, I want food here.
Oh, fair enough. We can
Cheese place
see what
here.
we can find.
Cheese place here.
Oh yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, we can take a look for it.
Yeah. Food.
All right. Yeah. Where's Moon wandered off to?
Moon is currently over to one side, seemingly kind of pulling a few of the boxes off, and is currently dealing with kind of just moving them onto the crates or onto the pallets with Ordok. You can see what looks to be a few individuals are currently beginning to otherwise tie a few cables or rope through it to lift it up and onto the back of a cart.
Okay. As he's doing, I'll saddle up to him. When the Plague Knights leave to take the stuff, I'm going to be heading off with them.
Right.
See if I can look around, find anything out. Think Kay is planning to come with me.
Right. Just make sure that Lisa knows so that there are not going to be any issues.
Of course. I will. I'll make sure she's aware.
Yeah, I'll have a word with her out once we leave the. Well, if we end up leaving the city, or while we're still hanging around here, if it gets to that.
By the way,
Hmm?
are me and Kay the only people you've spoken to about this?
The others aren't as interested as I am in this sort of thing. Molth is less tied to this. She'll probably want to go north after all of this anyway. She's far from the ocean here, and it's hard to connect. Lisa is. I think she just wants out. She doesn't want to get involved in this. She's not one for politics. Ordok does what he's told, and Benigs might help. I haven't spoken to him yet. He seems still to be drowsy from the morning.
If you wouldn't mind having a word with him, just get his take on it. That would be useful.
Can do. Yeah.
Now, understandable that people wouldn't want to stick around here, but, well, much as I respect our fearless leader, I don't mind disagreeing with her on certain issues.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll let her know that we're going to be heading off for a bit. Try and cover for us, will you?
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
Okay.
And
You're approaching Lisa?
yeah.
Okay. And you otherwise walk over to Lisa. You see that she's currently kind of giving a few orders and otherwise overseeing the movement of various goods from pallets onto the back of carts, the hitching of horses, and you can see that some of the knights are beginning to prepare to head out, or as they kind of clamber onto the back, and a few of them kind of move into kind of flanking positions on either side. As you do note, the groups are beginning to gather up and prepare to leave.
Right. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No, and now we can get out of here. Get yourselves back on the carts, and we'll leave. I've been told that we don't need to worry about checks. We can just head straight back out, and we'll just stay outside the city for a few days and head north again afterwards.
That's good. That's good. Yes, slight complication with that. I was speaking to one of the guards, and apparently they're having some security issues.
And let me guess, you want to run security?
Look, I wouldn't get involved if it weren't absolutely necessary, but they said they were running low on numbers.
She looks around the courtyard. Aha. And you're going to want extra pay for this, I imagine?
Actually, I was planning to do it out of the kindness of my own heart, but now that you mention it,
Roll me a persuasion check.
that's not so good. That's an 11.
Out of the kindness of your own heart it is, then. But just make sure that they check you over fully before you come back out to us. And if you get caught up in all this, we're leaving you behind, understood?
Understandable.
Okay, get back on the cart. We're leaving.
Oh, Kay's coming too.
I'm gonna poke my head over the top of the covered cart. I'm going with him. I need to find somebody here. I need to talk to them.
She just stops, almost pivots on the back of her hoof. So you're going to leave the cart without 2 guards?
I need person. I'm sorry. It's personal medical issue thing. Yeah.
Look, I know it's unideal, but this is important. And besides, who's going to attack us here with the knights around? Just get Benix to sober up, and he'll keep one eye out for thieves.
She looks at Benigs. You see Benigs is otherwise he kind of clambers onto the back of the cart, fails to pull his other leg up, so he just gets pushed in by Ordok and just rolls and doesn't bring his head back up, probably lying in the cart. Yeah, that might take a while.
Well, you're a people manager. I'm sure you'll find a way.
You get caught up in all this, we're leaving you behind. You're going to have to get back on your own. Same goes for you, Kay.
Understood.
Fair enough.
And you're doing this out of the kindness of your own hearts. I ain't paying you extra. And if you don't make it back in time, I ain't paying you either. You get paid when you make it back north.
Okay.
Moon, get on! You see Moon's currently trying to talk to Benigs. Failing to do so, but trying to. The full moon kind of looks over and go as she steps past you. As Kay, you kind of jump off the back of the cart. I see the two of you outside. Hopefully.
Hopefully. We'll see you there.
Don't do anything stupid. She climbs
Put
on
on
the
a
back of the cart,
mock
pulling herself
offended
up.
impression.
Roll me a performance check. Honestly, how good this is. Pretty good. Okay. She doesn't seem too bothered
22.
by it, but she gets onto the back of the cart, pulling herself back up. She otherwise gives the shout, and you watch as the three of the carts begin to head off before the Plague Knight kind of wanders over. All right then. Let's head off.
Dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No sense waiting around.
He otherwise nods, and you begin to gather yourselves. Just going to make sure Infernal sent me a message. Infernal, are you back yet? He's muted, or he's not back. Well, this will be fun.
Food, 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 food,
Yep.
food, 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 food.
As each group travels, you all begin to see the sight of the Hospice of the Winged Dancer before you. A large building composed mostly of stone compared to the majority of the buildings in its vicinity. While it still holds the dulling red tiles that are coated in a slick moss, the front entrance is led up to by a large staircase from the front courtyard road, flanked by two statues of winged humanoid figures dancing upon two pillars to either side of this staircase. The courtyard below, which is currently housing an open-air kitchen, is currently preparing a soup for the locals in a large pot, with the smell of fresh and warm vegetables drifting through the streets around both groups. A few plague knights dressed in traditional, non-marked chain armor and fully sealed up clothing of dark olive color stand around the staircase and the kitchen, as one of them breaks off a piece of bread and passes them out among what looks to be a group of children, distracting them for a moment from the horror of what lies behind. Those of you with a high passive investigation, which would be or passive investigation or perception, I would say Kat, Kay, and Lloyd. You are the first ones to realize this immediately.
Mhm.
As you travel from your two different groups, you see that these children are being distracted from the horror of what looks to be two individuals dressed in thick leather outfits, carrying large fabric-wrapped packages that are stained with red patches, what seem to be blood of what looks to be blood soaked into them, onto the back of a horse-drawn cart. Both of your groups begin to approach as you see the two individuals dressed in leather carrying a large bound package about 6 foot in length, with a tapering along the length of it with a spherical outcropping at one end of it. The two climb up into the cart, and one of them is smaller, but otherwise quite a bit older, a human male in his early 60s, otherwise with a mask covering across his face and large leather mitts. The other of whom seems to be a half-orc male of grey skin in his early 30s, wearing a similar outfit. As they are about to release the package, Kay and Lloyd, you are the first to notice this immediately, as you see the wrapping of the package begins to darken significantly and turn a sour shade of green, while Kay, to you, a very vile smell begins to catch the edge of your nose despite the mask. As with you, Kay and Vinny, as you're approaching with the caravan, one of the plague knights nearby steps forward and shouts, "Hey, you two! Look out! Get away from there!"
What?
One of us would already be running at this point to go and save the people.
Oh, you don't know.
I've got a... Wait, what's the cutoff point for the passive perception thing?
I have them written down, don't worry. It's 14.
Oh, that hurts.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's get...
the call out was to us, I believe.
No, you two
No.
get away from there seem to be to the individuals who are currently carrying.
Yeah,
the
the
package.
two plague knights or whatever
Yeah,
they
they-
are.
Okay.
Oh no, not plague knights.
Corpse
No,
bearers.
Corpse bearers, yeah.
correct.
Oh, is that actually what they're called?
Well, that's what they would be, yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So standing in the back and standing below.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen this yet, but I will be looking in the looking at the guy yelling first of all, and then trying to see what direction he's looking in.
Wait,
Okay.
I see this.
You smell this more
I
accurately
smell this.
as the guard shouts it.
Okay.
The two guards up, or the two plague knights up here, and you also have one with you and your horse-drawn cart, which for the time being, do I have? Where have my horses gone? I had a tile made specifically for this. Where have they gone?
Forever
I
gone.
have I have lost the horses. No, there they are. Alright.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say you could
I don't know
just
how much of that actually got
copy
through.
these ones.
Oh, I could, but they're theirs. Okay. Vinny and Kay. I'll say actually the horses are slightly further back, given the nature of this, and the guard stepped forward. You probably would have heard this shout as the guard moved up. And Kay, you're probably a little bit further near the back, over here. Okay. Romulus, Damien, Kat, and Lloyd. Where would you say you are along this road here?
Oh, along that road. Okay.
Yeah. What order you? Well, actually, no, because it would
Okay,
have been
back.
Damien and
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
behind.
we're-
Damien and Lloyd in the front.
Yep.
With
Sorry,
Romulus
what
and
happened?
Kat. So your groups have met up indirectly in this instance. But you, Lloyd, you notice and you hear a shout from across the way as a plague knight steps forward and says, "Hey, you two, look out, get away from there." As you see the package which these two are carrying, which is otherwise looking very like a body, that will be stained in kind of a reddish colour, goes a dark green very quickly.
Did I see this?
You don't. You have a passive perception of 9, my friend.
No.
You
Okay, I
noticed
know
the
through
package.
this.
You
I
noticed
know-
the package,
right.
not it going green.
Okay.
I immediately look at Damien. Careful, they're carrying something dangerous.
Okay.
Okay. As you say that, I would like. Actually, let's describe the scene first. As this happens, you watch as the two of them look about, and as the human otherwise drops the body into the back of the cart, you watch as the dark coloration on it springs out and bursts upwards. As you watch as these large sludge-like forms emerge from the top of it. As one of them goes to try and grab onto him, he falls backwards onto the ground, onto the main paving stones from below. The half orc takes a step back as the large form of not one, but two
Oh, they must have been packed in there real tight. Oh no.
burst forward. You see the first one as it emerges upwards, covered in this otherwise green viscera green and red viscera that begins to sink into its form. Large bubbles emerging upwards as strings of it pull apart, as it otherwise pulls itself up and looms over his form. I would like everyone to go ahead and roll for initiative for me, please.
Come on,
Equally
you
like-
stupid fucking cow. Hey! That'll probably do alright.
Okay, time to roll up for these things. Oh man, they're doing well.
Don't
Well, I
say
think
that,
it's-
Chris.
It's always
Uh,
anything could do better than what I've just done.
Did you roll
Agreed.
a natural one?
No.
I assume this is
Close.
as soon as we arrived at the hospice, right?
Yes. that was the
Correct.
ho- yeah.
The hospice is this building here.
Okay. Wait, that's a building? I already see a white map.
You only see a white map. Does anybody else
I
see
see
an
the
actual
map.
map?
I see the
I
map.
see the
I
map.
guess I'll reload.
Yeah,
you
he-
don't
see
need
the
to
map.
reload here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
thought it
it's
was an
the-
impromptu map because I only saw white. I was like,
No, there's actual stuff on this. No, I've spent 4 months preparing to do an impromptu map Inferno.
are you all right there,
Look.
Harlan?
I'm
I'll
good.
send
Why
a
would I not
screenshot
be?
of what I saw.
I'm just making sure because it just says that you have a bad connection.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw.
Okay. How do
Fun
I
fact: did you know these tents are actually just really big leaves?
No, they are tents.
Ah.
What? And you're going to tell me next that these underneath are massive cucumbers?
Yes. Actually, they're sushi. They're sushi rolls.
They're sushi rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
sushi
I
mat.
knew
You know.
it.
It's rat.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rat kale.
Exactly. Yes. Excellent. Um,
Gonna turn around and say these are bowls of wasabi next.
I mean, could
Um,
be. Could be.
I mean, I'm okay with that, honestly.
I can
Uh,
appreciate the half-chopped carrot here, though.
The brown is soy sauce. The clear one is a
No.
nice lemon water palate cleanser.
Forget the monsters. Not interested in them. This
The
carrot.
carrots are actually extremely small knives. That have been
Ah,
coloured orange.
I see.
These
Pay no
these
attention to the
things
one
of
that's been
bread-
cut up.
These things of bread are actually potatoes.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Under the
Um,
cover of a giant.
a giant
Beef.
Dorito, yes.
Okay, Kay, am I going to have you roll to eat the giant Dorito and bread and tomatoes and stuff? Because let's be
Um,
honest.
Is it?
Bonus carrots.
Hold on. The question is, I forgot what was the smell that came off of this thing?
Fairly foul, but intriguing.
It's
Oh,
got
no.
my attention.
Okay. Okay. 25 to 20.
I have a 23 with my nimble footwork.
Ooh, okay. You are going first then. Is somebody managing the initiative? Initiative orders over here. By the way.
1 second. Yeah.
There you go. I'll let Suds take care of it. So,
Ba-dum.
okay. So, we have Kay with 23, 20 to 15.
19.
19 on Romulus. 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
5.
7.
6.
Okay, 7 on Vinny. Cat.
5.
5.
Oh,
Lloyd and Damien both
No 6.
both 6.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So you two
Okay,
can
I
choose
think
who
this
wants.
map
You
just
two
doesn't want to
can.
load.
You two
What's the
choose
quality you have it set to on your options? Because this is a quite a high
see.
resolution map, so it's possible that you've got it set low.
Graphics is on ultra.
Is mod threading turned on?
Yeah.
I don't know then. Do you want me to send you a quick screenshot of what's going on then?
Yeah, sure. You can send it in the chats.
I'm going to move
Just
these
so I
over
can
and
see the
shrink them down
layout.
for you. Yep. Does somebody want to do that, or shall I do that?
What? Oh,
Hmm?
I don't have the
Send
ability to do
Infernal.
so.
I don't know how to
Okay.
do that. Otherwise, he'll get all
Okay.
3 screens.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I
I'll
just
do
don't
it.
have the ability
I
to do
think
so.
it prints
worry.
the one your cursor is on.
Nope. They printed it all. All right. There you go, Infernal. I will.
Oh yeah, it does print it. All right.
I'll do that, and then I'll do you one better.
Oh, you're gonna send the entire map?
I'm going to send the entire map because none of it's hidden, so I might as well.
Okay.
There you go. Hospital. So. Okay. So where did I get to? I was organizing initiative. Okay, so K. As you see all of this take place, your nose picks up on something. You can smell a very acidic smell far from here. You hear the shout of the guard, and you're immediately drawn to the attention of something. Now, while you were mildly distracted by the carrots and fresh bread, which you have pocketed some already, knowing you see and the otherwise ooze forms begin to burst forth out of the corpse that was otherwise laden on the back of the cart. As one of them bursts up and another one begins to dribble and ooze down as the horse panics in place, preparing to run. You see all of this taking place as the human falls back onto the street below, with the large ooze beginning to loom over him.
Well, I can't do much, but Vinny, let's go. 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's all you got for the moment?
Yeah, I can't do anything. Actually, hold on. Wait. It might destroy it, but I'm gonna throw my dagger at this blue one.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. As you otherwise reach down to the edge of your belt, taking your one good dagger and tossing it.
Good is
Oh,
a statement.
yeah. Okay, your one functional dagger. We'll go from there. You toss the one functional dagger as it sticks into the side of it. Go ahead and roll me damage. I believe it's a D4 plus Dex mod for piercing.
7.
7. Okay. You otherwise throw the dagger as it otherwise sticks into the side of it, and you watch as there's this otherwise bubble and hissing. As you watch as a little bit of it begins to otherwise spit out and onto the cobblestones below, the dagger stuck fast in the side of it. Not sinking into it by any means, but a horrible hissing sound coming from the blade that's stuck in it currently.
I'm just trying to get its attention.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. End of your turn. On the same initiative, but with a far lower dex than you, on a natural 20 roll, the blue ooze will go.
Blue ooze.
Blue
I would like you to go ahead and roll me a charisma check, please, as the intent here was to try and persuade it to come towards you to a certain degree.
Charisma.
This will be a charisma
Woo.
check versus its perception.
Charisma. That's a 10.
Okay. It doesn't notice you.
I understand.
Yeah. It is going to attempt to attack the human on the ground. He is fallen prone, so this is with advantage.
That's a
Okay.
no, man.
You watch as the ooze otherwise begins to peel over the top, and as otherwise lands next to him, you watch as he rolls out of the way of the strike, otherwise avoiding him entirely. As the ooze has attempted to move into his space and has failed its attack against him. Yes. I love low end creatures. This is great. Okay.
Yeah.
Romulus, you are up. You see this human otherwise lying on the ground. You see that he otherwise has ooze beginning to otherwise begin to make its way and try and encapsulate him, but it has failed to do so in this attempt as it falls down and sticks to the cobblestones below.
Okay. Can I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 get over to here to pull him out, basically?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that'll be fine.
Lovely.
Diagonally is fine.
Awesome. In that
Okay.
case, I will be trying to pull him out and defend. I don't know exactly what you want me to do for that, but
Go ahead and make me an athletics check. For every 5, you will be able to shift him up to 1 square from where he currently is around you.
all right. So athletics is +6.
Yep.
I'm not being an Angie boy, so no advantage yet.
Nope.
Oh.
+6. 9.
Yeah.
He is voluntarily letting this happen, and as you otherwise kind of grab him and pull him, he begins to scramble and otherwise pull. But the sudden arrival of someone with their hands around him trying to pull him out, even though he's going in the same direction, he doesn't move very far, unfortunately, as he does continue to scramble. But he does rise to his feet at this point, preparing to run.
All right. I don't believe I can use my horns as a bonus action.
No, that would have to be part of a melee attack.
Yeah. So, it's not really much that really works here, but I'll just essentially be trying to prepare myself to interpose myself between this slime and this dude if anything tries to attack this dude again.
Okay. So a held bonus action, I guess you could say, to try and put yourself in harm's way.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So I'll say that will take your reaction when it happens, but it will be your interposing.
Cool.
Okay. With that, it is now the second ooze's turn, as it also rolled really high for these creatures. This one, on the other hand... Yep, okay. It sees you, Kay. As you throw your dagger and you jump up and down, and you watch as it otherwise falls off the back, catching the horse in the process, and slimes its way over to you.
That poor horse.
Rip horse.
That is an 8.
Nom.
As it otherwise moves towards you and begins to try and encapsulate you, the rest of you watch from your perspectives as it moves up and over the top of Kay. As you watch his head just bursts through the top as he just springs out through a small opening of a bubble on the side of this thing, otherwise unharmed as it attempted to move into his space. You're currently sharing spaces with it. If you end your turn there, you will take damage. So you'll have to move out of its space next turn. Just so you know. Okay. End of its turn. The Plague Knights at this point. This one, these two are going to come down and they're going to begin herding the children away from what is going on. As this one is going to move. Oh, does he care about the soup? Hold on. Yeah, he does. Okay, he's going to go under the table, spending most of his movement to do so, and is going to proceed to cast a Sacred Flame on the corpse ooze that's there, which fails. Doing Sacred Flame damage, 1 point of radiant damage. Worth it. All right. Okay. You watch as he stretches out his hand and otherwise pulls up a carrot in the process. As his hand reaches out, you watch as this light flame of kind of a lighter lime green color begins to expand over the front of it, but not doing much damage, just licking and popping a few bubbles in the process.
Kay just watches this and realizes that food can be weapons.
Okay. Oh no. Take tap and brawl and you can turn a carrot into a d4 damage, same as a dagger. Alright. This one is going to move up and is going to take a swing with his mace. That is a hit, low AC. For 7 points of damage as he swings around with his mace, striking the side of it, the bludgeoning otherwise hitting it and causing a warbling effect over the majority of the ooze, doing a fair amount of damage, but not too much that would otherwise disrupt its form, it would seem. Okay. The Plague Knights who are back here are going to attempt to otherwise prevent the horses from panicking and fail to do so. So they're going to spend their turn doing that. Okay, Vinny, it is your turn. Actually, no. Sorry. The children at this point. How badly do they panic? Okay, they're just going to run. Do any of them fall over? Because, you know, they might do. Nope.
This one.
Natural 20. All of them get out.
Oh,
Sprint away.
that's
Hooray!
unfortunate.
Brilliant.
No
That's
child
unfortunate.
murder. Woo!
That's unfortunate, says Kay, bursting out of one of these slimes. All right, Vinny, it is your go, and Lloyd and Damien, you will be up next. So get ready. Followed by Kay.
Okay. Well, one of these things is attacking Kay, and the
Oh.
other one is already being menaced by an
Yep.
intimidating looking fellow.
There you go.
I'm going to
By the way, I'm using this to
Yep,
say whose turn it
That's
is.
fine. That's fine.
3, 4 over here.
Okay.
I'm going to sprint over with a flourish, draw both of my swords as my cape billows up from behind me, and whirl into attack.
All right.
It
Go
is
ahead.
adjacent to an ally of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I may use sneak attack if it hits.
All right. Go ahead. Yep. That is a sneak attack hit. As you otherwise kind of step up and forward, you see Kay burst out of the top of it, and you hold back your strike, getting a good clean swing, but it's a shallow swing, not doing as much as you would hope given the lower
Minimum
rolls.
damage. It's still
Doing
5 damage total.
5 damage, still damage. As you slash through a portion of it, you watch as the slashed portion otherwise hits the ground nearby and becomes inanimate as best as it can be described, more uncongealing and diluting as it hits the ground, separate from its main form.
Okay. So small pieces can't seem to survive on their own. Brilliant. I will bonus action then, swing at it with my other sword.
Okay, go ahead.
Try and carve off another small chunk.
Ooh, natural 1. It is going to spend its reaction to hit you,
Fair
or
enough.
to try and attack you. That is a 16.
That does hit.
Okay. In this instance, as you otherwise swing forward, carving off a small chunk of it, you go in for a second strike, trying to cut a portion of it. As you do, you watch as a portion of it swings towards you, and in that instance, your hand gets caught as it does an engulfing attack against you. Okay.
I was gonna say halfling luck, but then I realized no halfling.
The
Yeah,
halfling.
fair.
Nope.
I've made a grave mistake in this campaign.
Okay, you take you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of acid damage, and you are currently grappled by it as your hand is now stuck in the side of this ooze. Okay. I do technically, because of this, have to move this into your space to show that. So I'll just put K there.
No, K is here.
No, K is
K
on
is
top.
on
That's
it.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. You got the damage from that?
It was 5 damage total.
5 damage total, yeah. 1 point of
Yes.
acid, 4 points of bludgeoning. Okay. As it has otherwise wrapped itself around your arm. Okay. Lloyd and Damien. Is that the end of your turn? Bonus action, movement, action? Yep.
Yep. I
Yep,
technically have some
cool.
more movement, but I'm grappled now, so.
You're grappled now, so unfortunately you can't. Okay, Lloyd and Damien, you two are up next. Decide which one of you wishes to go first.
I'll let Lloyd go first because I've got a suspicion he might demonstrate something else I want to do in a minute.
Demonstrate what?
Magic.
Hmm.
Just a hint.
And not too much demonstration. I grab my beads and I pray as a blessing comes about on the Minotaur, Damien, and the guy that just got attacked. The demon.
What's the range on that? Oh, that guy. Yeah.
30 feet. No, the
Yeah.
demon guy.
Oh, Vinny. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
I think it's 30
30.
feet.
It's
Okay, I have to
30
move.
feet, so unfortunately Vinny is out of range unless you wish to move
I'll
closer.
Do
move
you
a
want to
bit.
help that random dude?
What the orc?
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. So you're moving there to get within range of Vinny? Okay. You otherwise run your hands kind of quickly across your rosary beads before saying a light prayer, and you watch as the end of your staff begins to otherwise glow with this light and almost natural power. As you watch as beginning to wrap around each of these allies seem to be these green rings that run underneath their armpits and over their shoulders, almost like sashes. The three of you, it was Damien, Romulus, and Vinny, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you are now concentrating. And they are affected by Bless, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Aw, bless.
Ahoo!
Okay, you each have a d4 which you may add to your attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws for the concentration duration.
And
Okay.
as a bonus action,
Oh, getting spicy here.
need to alt tab. I don't need to alt tab. I have 2 monitors. Right.
What?
Not used to this. I will. Which one was it? I will Omen of Betrayal on the blue one.
Okay. What is the range on that?
Ooh.
60 foot.
60 foot.
Oh no,
Okay.
30 foot. Sorry, 30 foot.
30 foot, and that is a what kind of save?
Charisma.
Okay. Does this count as a charm? I can't remember.
The target begins to become paranoid and sees all allies as enemies.
I don't think it counts as
Is
charm.
under your control. No, it's control.
No. Okay. Okay. Charisma save 10.
That's a fail.
Okay.
So I can
As
use
you
my
are-
action to control it on my next turn.
Okay. Placing your hands in a triangle on your head, you otherwise watch, or the rest of you watch, as this large, otherwise black and red eye imposes itself on the surface of this blue one as it goes still and slows before slowly pivoting to face this green one. Okay.
Yep. Do I need to stay within range of Vinny?
Nope.
Okay.
You can back away now.
I'll back away.
Okay, back away.
Never
Damien.
gets Lloyd. Alright, so I can't attack as a bonus action, can I? That would be a main action.
That'll be a main action, yeah.
Yeah, okay. In that case, I think I will move. Hang on, 1, I will move into this space here next to Romulus
Okay.
and the orc. And I will attack it with my this blob with my mace.
Okay. With the Omen of Betrayal, does that do anything special when he attacks it? When does it get additional save? Is what I'm asking.
No.
accurately.
It only gets a save on the end of its turn.
Okay. Cool.
I'll read it again.
Yep. Just to make sure, I can't remember if any of them specifically have an effect if you attack them. I believe one of them does. Not because they're
Yeah,
incapacitated
I
till they take
believe one of
damage.
them does.
Yeah.
At the end of each of its turns, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and make me an attack roll then, please.
Okay. Including damage or not yet?
Roll the damage as well. I might as well.
Okay, and I've got
And
the
this is with
D4, don't I?
This is for the extra D4 is for the added onto the attack roll. But yes.
And it's a D8, yeah.
Yep. Correct. Yep. Plenty to hit. Swinging down with your mace.
And that
Popping any
is...
divine smites or no?
Nope, so that is 5 plus 3 damaging.
Okay. Swinging down,
Bludgeoning,
you
rather.
otherwise 5 plus 3?
Plus 3 bludgeoning, yeah.
Shouldn't it be 2 plus 3?
Oh, yeah, but I got the 3 as well from...
Oh,
the...
that gets added onto the
Oh,
D20
okay, right,
roll.
okay, so yeah, it's 2
yeah,
plus...
it makes you more accurate rather than doing
Yeah,
more damage.
gotcha.
Yeah, cool. So 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. Moving up to that one, you take a swing with your mace as it otherwise collides with the side of it, again causing this large rippling effect across the surface of it as it otherwise digs into it slightly. Doesn't seem to be worried about you at the moment though. Okay. That's your action?
Yep.
Did you use your bonus action at all, or?
No, but I'm not sure what I can really use it on, so I think that might be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, Cat, it is your turn.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to use Magic Missile and the Push Rune.
Okay.
2 on this guy, 1 on this guy.
Okay. What's the range of Magic Missile?
Magic Missile has the range of 120 foot.
And you moved forward. Okay.
I needed to work out angles because I didn't want to hit this one at an angle so it lands on top of him.
Oh, I
'Cause
see.
the
'Cause
push
it's
works
directional
from
based.
my
It's
yeah.
directional based on you. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage. 2 on which one?
2 on this guy, 1 on this guy.
And you're pushing both of them?
Yes.
This will be moved 5 feet. This one will move 10 feet, I believe. And it needs to make
Plan.
a. Does it? Oh, it makes the. Because it's a push rune. I believe this is a strength save versus your DC.
Push. It says
Because it would
pushes
be if the
target
opponent
by
fails.
5 foot per point. Point spent in a set direction. It doesn't actually say anything against the save. It just says works on large creature.
So it works on large creatures. Okay, oh yeah, that's a restriction. So how much damage to the green one?
So the green one is the one with the 2. So that's these 2. That is a grand total of 10.
10 points of damage. Vinny, you take 5 points of damage.
3.
As the magic missiles strike the side of it, you watch as parts of it break off, but as it does so, you watch as it tenses around your arm and you feel a crushing pain. That's 5 points of damage to you there, Vinny. Okay, Kay, your decision. Would you like to go with it or not?
I'm
And
riding
Vinny
this
would-
thing. This is mine.
All right, and Vinny, would you like to go with it? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, you are no longer grappled as it is pushed back and otherwise pushed by these 2 magic missiles which strike it as it tears away from your arm, leaving otherwise this scar and wound across your arm as it otherwise feels crushed. But you are now free from whatever grasp this was. And this one, and the blue one takes how much damage?
3 points of damage, and it should
3
move in
points.
a rough diagonal to try and get the civilians out of there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Back up toward,
Yeah.
pushed under the cart, so to speak. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll have 3/4 cover against attacks for now because it's pushed back under the cart.
So hopefully civilians can get away, and then.
And how much
5,
damage?
10,
3 or
15.
5?
3.
3. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm pushing it back under the cart. Alrighty. End
That
of
ends
your
my
turn?
Yep.
Okay. Kay, it is the top of your turn. You are currently riding on the back of this thing. It is beginning to burn your feet.
Meh. It's fine. I am going to. How far up is the roof from this thing?
I believe that building is a single-story building, so the roof would be up about 10 feet, I believe, for the lip of it, anyway.
Is that enough to where I can be able to kind of like jump off this thing and use the roof as a springboard to come hurling
Back-
myself down at this thing?
Back down?
Yes.
Let's find out. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check.
Yeah, let's go. Acrobatics. Trying to do spicy crap. Nope. Can I? Hold on. Nope. I'm re-rolling that.
You're going to use your inspiration? All right,
I'm
go ahead.
re-rolling that.
That is fair. All right.
That's better.
There's a moment where you run forward and everybody watches as you jump with the expectation of you to just sink into it like a pudding. But unlike a jelly, you do not pierce through. Your light form helps as you spring off of the top of it, spinning round in the air, landing your feet on the edge of the guttering and tiling before shooting yourself back towards it. With the
I'm also going to be turning my tail into a blade while I was jumping, and while I'm coming down, I'm gonna kind of do like that the spinning around, like how I'm gonna do
Yep.
that and kind of like try and do it quick enough to where people can't see that my tail was my weapon. It just looks
Okay.
like I have another blade.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll. I will debate this on your hit or miss.
Oh, come on. What?
That was a 4.
That
Yep,
was a 4.
That was a 4. Total.
10.
That hits versus the very slow-moving ooze. As you otherwise springboard off of the top, unfurling your tail, which was your belt, as the edge of it immediately coils into this otherwise skewer stiletto blade. As you otherwise plow towards it, spinning in the air, your tail slices into it for how much damage?
7.
7 points of damage. How much of that
Uh,
is
it would be
2?
It would be uh it would be 9 including the poison.
9 including poison. Okay. The poison doesn't seem to have as much effect as you had hoped. It's hard to tell. As your blade for a tail otherwise sticks into the side of it, skewering it to a certain degree, you otherwise slice. Given that, the rest of you watch as the tiny form tears into it with this almost lightning speed flash of something, of otherwise a hidden weapon as far as you're concerned. Before the tiny form, do you wish to move?
I am going to go over here and use
Okay.
my
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
As you otherwise slice off a good chunk of it, popping it, you watch as the inside kind of lets out this almost gout of something before you watch as it almost condenses back to a slightly smaller form as it is now more significantly injured.
And I'm gonna bonus action attack.
Okay, go ahead and take a swing. Okay. Reaching forward and grabbing the dagger that's otherwise stuck in its form, you swing upwards, tearing the dagger free, doing 3 points of damage, I believe, because you do not add your dex mod for this one.
It's actually 5 because of the poison damage, because I don't have my dagger because the dagger's in the blue one.
It's stuck. Oh, the dagger's in the blue one. Right. So then it would do 4 points of damage. Okay. Okay. Taking a swing. Okay. Yeah, the dagger's in the blue one. You're very correct there. Okay. End of your turn. It is now this one's turn. It, on its turn, doesn't do anything except to make a charisma saving throw because it is controlled by you. I believe if you do not use your action next turn, it's free, though.
No, he
Or-
can still take his turns normally, I think.
Oh, you just tell him to
But
do
I
something
can
as
just
an
take
action. and
control
then-
of it as an action, yeah.
Ah, I see. So he's still an enemy then.
But yeah, but he also sees his allies as enemies.
Okay, well, his ally's all the way over there, and he just got punched by a small centaur, effectively.
The
So,
ogre not his ally too?
No, his ally is this. They
Yeah,
one.
they're
they, did,
civilians.
they didn't
Oh,
know
the
that
ogre is
was
also a
happening.
civilian. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
speaking
they
of
were the ones
speak-
that brought them here.
yeah, speaking of which, no, speaking of which, I actually forgot their turns. They're supposed to go at the same time the children did, so this one would have gone up and run. As well, moved back probably as best he could, and this one would have run inside at this point because I forgot they were supposed to go when the children went.
Or at least they
Okay.
escaped.
Yep, this one moving back is going to Damien or Romulus.
Flip a coin.
Romulus didn't take a swing. Damien did. Right, Damien?
I took away its food, though.
Oh.
That makes me very angry.
Both of you go ahead and roll me a d20.
Oh wow.
Do I actually? I don't actually know if I want higher or lower here, if I'm honest.
No, you don't.
I got a 9.
I got a 7.
Alright, Romulus is coming at you.
Hey,
Alright,
you're welcome.
You are a big food source, I guess.
that is a 10.
No.
As it otherwise crawls itself out from underneath the car, a large short section of it otherwise reaches forward to try and grab onto you as you just take a step back and use the base of your Dane axe to just stop it in its tracks, ploughing it into the ground. Okay. Romulus, speaking of which, it's your turn.
Well, I'm not. I may have my Dane axe on me, but I'm actually going to be using my maul because reasons.
Squishy, squishy.
Squishy, squishy jam creature reasons.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that out. And does it look like there's anyone in immediate danger who is a vulnerable civilian? I don't believe so. I don't think I can reasonably see K.
The closest thing to vulnerable would probably be either the tiefling who has been badly burned below you, or the civilian who has just run away behind you and is otherwise trying to back up as best he can. But he is old and fairly slow, but it seems to be more concentrated on you two now.
He's running. Cat and Lloyd are there, so that's something. I am going to come round here because I believe that gives me the +2 flanking.
Yep, correct.
Wunderbar. And I think it's time to. I can't come up with a good line, but if I could, it would be really funny. And I'm going to wail on this thing with my maul, following up with some horns if possible.
Okay.
So that might
So,
actually be a
yes.
really horrible idea.
We'll find out. So,
Yep.
Got goo in your horn.
so is this
actually-
a reckless attack? Or...
Actually, I will be using. Oh no, we just woke up. I'm not using a rage yet. Yeah, I'm going to do this as normal. I will be doing a reckless attack for advantage because
because the +2 is from flanking. Yep.
+2 from flanking plus advantage. It's just a good system.
Yeah.
Where am I here? That's I'm just trying to remember what I actually do.
It's
It's a
maul,
+6.
So 2d6.
2d6 +4, baby.
Or 2d6 +6. Oh no, because you're not raging.
Okay, so that's an 18. That's
Hits.
Hits. It's
We
definitely
established-
hit.
Yeah.
+2 plus it does 26 hit.
Hold on,
and that's
hold on. Can I have more?
I got it. There
Oh.
you go. 29 to hit. Yes, that hits the creature with 8 AC. Yes.
like what happens is you see the small come in and then it like at times seems to dilate as it seems to hit it multiple times over.
Okay.
But yes, that hits. That's 5, 10 plus 4, 14 points of damage.
Yep, a nice juicy amount. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you otherwise take your heavy swing with the maul, otherwise ploughing down into it, otherwise squishing a large portion of it as it is scattered a bit, you note it shrinks in size.
All right, Damien, time for you to finish it off as I do the horn thing.
Okay. Intend for damage or push?
I'm gonna intend for damage. My main thing is gonna sort of like be keeping it at least partly in place. I know that's really fucking hard to do with what is ostensibly jelly, but I can give it a try. So
If it would be pushing with the intent in grappling, it would be the push. It would be the push one. If you're intending to just do damage, it would just be damage.
let's just do fucking damage.
Right.
It's less effort, less thought.
Go ahead.
And I believe that's a D6.
It's just a d6 damage. You
Yeah,
get to keep
just
the reckless attack, but you do not have the +2 because of
It's small
its
now.
size now.
No. Wait, no. You said it has an AC of 8. I have advantage.
Yep.
That is a 6.
You
It
also
definitely
have
does
a
hit.
d4 technically, but
Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
6 points of damage.
that's
Alright,
actually one.
nice.
That's actually better. But 6 points of damage. Yeah. So
Alright. Otherwise lowering your horns to the otherwise small form, you otherwise gore through a portion of it, scooping it up and flinging it off to the surroundings nearby, leaving a large streak across the street in the direction of your friends. Okay. End of your turn. Corpse uses 2's turn. Kay, you're going to be rolling versus the guard as it doesn't know who to attack. Kay, I would like you to roll with advantage because of who you are and how small you are. Guard rolled an 18. It's attacking
16.
you. Okay. It's going to take its swing against you.
Bring it,
That's a-
slimy boy.
That's a 14 to hit.
No.
Okay, with your small and nimble form, it otherwise attempts to move into your space and try and engulf around you, slowing you down, but you quickly kind of nimbly dart out of the way, woof, woof, missing any as it misses all of its attempts to otherwise catch you. Okay. End of its turn. It is the Plague Knight's turn. This one is going to take a swing against it, and as it has flanking, it gets a +2 bonus. Doesn't matter, it would have it hits anyway, and 7 points of bludgeoning damage with its mace. Good. Okay. Next up on the chopping block. Chopping block? Yes. This one, wielding the carrot, is going to run in. He has a dagger. He's the cook. Okay. He's going to take 2 swings. I say one with a carrot and one with a dagger.
Yes.
First off, the dagger fails. That's unfortunately a 6 as he misses with the dagger.
Can I give him a D4 as a bonus for landing with the carrot, please?
I can get the carrot to work.
You know what? He rolled. Technically, he's not proficient in improvised weapons, but I'll say for this, seeing the carrot and with the distraction, I'll say as your reaction, you give him that extra 1 that he needs to hit with the carrot, doing 3 points of damage, stabbing with a carrot.
That is
Wow.
glorious.
Okay, these guards. This one's going to move up and prepare to cast Sacred Flame. This one is going to. This one is going to do this. This one is actually going to keep an eye out and begin to try and make sure there's no other issues going on around here. Okay, perception check wise, he's fine. Dex save for the one over there. The slime got a natural 20. As the flame comes in, the gourd form of it catches fire and is scattered and begins to burn across the street, otherwise unaffected. The children are no longer in combat. Vinny, you are up.
Okay.
Your arm burns and throbs, but you just watched a guard stab a slime with a carrot.
And you heard Kay cheering.
Okay. I really don't need flanking. I can only miss on a nat 1. Out of interest, is how much overhang is there? Is this a?
This is an
This is a
overhang,
space you
yeah.
can stand
So
on.
that's a space you can stand on, yeah. It's
Okay.
spaces where it's more full. You'd find it difficult.
Okay. Right. I will reach in here. I will duck in here then, and where it's recoiling from its carrot wound, I will try and swing at whichever part is bulkiest and do as much damage as possible.
All right, go ahead and roll me an attack roll. That hits.
Does hit.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't need the d4.
Okay.
Yep, that
Is
is
it-
plus 3, so 15.
15 points of damage. As you take a step in, seeing the carrot wound, you pierce your scimitar straight into it and tear upwards as you watch as it parts into two equal forms. As it looks about attempting to reform into one, but fails to do so as it turns to sludge on the ground. Freaking carrot
Beautiful.
wound. Lagarde just lifts up the carrot.
Who knew, right?
Who knew?
So,
Okay.
if
off
you
we-
guys see, I was just gonna say, if you guys see Kay carrying around carrots on his belt from now on, don't question it.
Fair.
Okay. Well, off of the momentum of the upward pull, I'm going to turn on one heel and run back the other way. With 2 spaces getting in, so that's all of my movement. And then I'm going to bonus action attack this one. It's a simple downward diagonal swing so as to not hit the large man. It's all attack rolls that get the d4, right?
All attack rolls that get the d4, correct, from Bliss.
Beautiful.
Sorry. All right, what's your... Yep, that hits, doing...
Right, inexplicably that hits.
And you don't have 2 weapon fighting, so it's just one damage.
Just 1 damage. It technically hits.
It technically hits, and Shiro, you otherwise pop one of the bubbles. It seems a bit perturbed.
I feel like it's more reeling from the big Minotaur man. But
yeah,
insult to injury, I guess.
Oh no! See, what I'm fully imagining is Vinny just quite literally doing the Salt Bay motion with some salt on top of this thing to do damage.
Ah, nice.
Just walk in and like slap it across the face with the flat of the blade.
Yeah.
it makes a wet slap sound as the side of the blade hits it.
Oh,
All right,
a dream.
Lloyd and Damien. Lloyd, you're up first. This one is still technically under the effect of Omen of Betrayal, but its ally is dead.
No. The wording it says I can use my action to control it. This effect cannot cause them to deal damage to themselves.
Yes, so anything that would otherwise question its safety.
Okay, so I can't take control of it and walk out of range, so they get opportunity attacks.
No, you wouldn't be able to, because at that instant it would be either these two then can't perform opportunity attacks because it would act out of it, or it would be it would be doing something that would be against what it's trying to do effectively.
Okay, yeah, because the thing is this effect cannot cause them to deal damage to themselves. So I thought it might be just like asking them to hit itself.
No, it's directly or indirectly. So, for example, you can't force them to, say, for example, walk off of a ledge to fall and take damage because even though they're not dealing damage to themselves, technically it's an act that they wouldn't normally do.
Okay, cool.
So you could say, for example, use your action to have it disengage and move, but then it wouldn't do anything. It would just get to its turn and move back. Yeah.
Instead, I will use Toll the Dead on it.
Okay, that is a what save?
Is a wisdom save.
That is a non-natural 1.
Oof. Well, then it takes a 1d12.
Yep.
8.
Nice. 8 points of damage. Okay. You watch as from across the pathway with what little is left of this one, you watch as Lloyd otherwise strokes the edge of his rosary beads, and you watch as this otherwise dark green bell falls down and otherwise makes a gonging sound nearby it, and you watch as it begins to split and a portion of it tears away and almost falls to the ground, quivering before becoming still. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn, Lloyd?
Walk away. See if this guy that ran over here is okay.
Yep, looking in, you can see he's currently just kind of hiding behind a few boxes, kind of like, okay, what's going on? I'll wait until this subsides.
I'll go over here.
Okay.
Go get him, Damien.
Damien, it's your turn.
I want to ask one question. Have I seen any of the events that are happening with the other Blood Wars?
I'd say from this distance, you'd have seen that they were fighting it, and it seems to be still currently.
Okay, you won't have seen any details.
No, you won't have seen too many
Cool.
details. The only thing you probably would have you probably wouldn't have seen. Here's a carrot, a finesse weapon. yes, a carrot is a finesse-based weapon. Asking the real questions here.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
trying to wield it with strength, but not end well.
No, no, that's true.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'd say you probably wouldn't have seen too many details, but you probably would have seen the general basis of what's gone on here.
Right, okay. I would have just seen that there's been attacks and there's a blob that looks a bit dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
In that case, I am going to attack the blob with my mace,
Okay.
and I'm going to do Divine Smite if I can as well.
Okay. You got to roll
So
to hit first.
Still got all of these.
Mm-hmm. That I believe is still a hit. Versus this thing's AC. Yep, that hits. So that will be doing 5 damage currently.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Are you going to Divine Smite or just let it lie?
Yes.
Okay.
What have I got to do it? Good question.
Wait, so is that a you are Divine Smite?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, it's just an extra 2d8 damage.
Extra 2d8.
2d8,
Yep.
yes,
I
because this
rolled
would
both.
this would expend 2 of your spell points.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you sure this thing doesn't count as undead?
Nope, it's not
'Cause
undead.
That's an
'cause it's
extra
gonna be real dead very soon.
12 damage, I think.
Okay, 12 damage. No, 15 damage.
15. Yeah, of course. Yes.
Okay. As you otherwise kind of stand over it, taking a step forward with your mace, you swing down. You watch as the mace otherwise bursts with this otherwise divine energy as it hits it and splatters it across the street. It is still and dead. The threat seems to have passed.
Okay.
Do I smell any more BSery?
You make a perception check.
I smell heresy.
I'm gonna go over to this guy, make sure he's okay.
I believe
Maybe
what Suds just rolled was a no.
not. Let's see. Perception. I mean, it's a 7.
Oh.
It could do something.
I know.
Is the horse okay, or is the horse very dead?
The horse is panicked, but where it's otherwise held in place by the reins, it's otherwise been unable to move and just kind of froze in place.
I'm going to
With
go over and soothe the horse.
Kay, with your perception, you otherwise kind of kneel down, take a sniff. There doesn't seem to be anything of note nearby. The other plague knights in the area kind of look at you, and for the time being, they don't seem to realize that you're not a plague knight.
I'm gonna retrieve
Oh.
my dagger.
No, as these guys otherwise go over, and you watch as one of them just go, "Dude, you stabbed it with a carrot," and he's like, "I know."
I'm retrieving my dagger and
Right.
immediately returning.
Oh,
Teach me your ways, wise master.
actually, before I soothe the horse, sorry, I just realized. Can I pick up a sample of the slime and pop it in one of the vials that we have?
Go ahead and make me a survival check. The better the check, the more sizable and or coherent the sample will be.
Okie dokie. Oh. It's still a +3, so 13.
13. You otherwise kind of move down for a moment, kind of taking the edge of your one of your hand axes, and you scoop a bit of it off, and you kind of plop it into the edge of the vial before kind of firmly setting the waterproof cork in place, kind of twisting and pushing before putting it into your satchel.
Yes, it goes into the leather vial bag, so it will not be fucked over by any chicanery.
Okay.
And then I go over to soothe the horse.
I've
There,
come over
there.
to Vinny.
It is
Just check if
okay.
he's okay on health.
you mind if I roll an animal handling?
Go ahead. Try and calm the horse. You go
It's
over and check on Vinny for his health. And to answer the question, Infernal, yes, it would have ended the concentration. So Bless would have ended. However, I don't believe in this instance, because you were fighting 8 AC creatures and no saves were made, it's not a huge deal. Just note it for the future.
Yeah, I don't think any D4s are actually helpful. So.
Yeah, they would have been useful if Vinny had to make an escape.
Yeah.
But with the push rune, otherwise pushing it off, that cleared
Look,
that.
we
health.
all know that this man's was affected by
But it would
bless.
have ended as soon as I used it. Then.
Oh yeah, he was affected by like ultimate bless, stabbing with carrots.
Hi, 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 hi.
It would have ended as soon as I used Omen.
Yeah, bless would have ended the moment you used the omen.
Cool.
How's
Right,
this
so-
guy?
Going over to him, you otherwise kind of go over to where he is. Kind of the old man's kind of pushed up against the edge, just going, "Thank you."
It's okay.
Oh,
You alright? Did it get you?
no, I think I hurt my back though.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Give me a 12. I want to make sure there's nothing on you. Just gonna inspect to make sure no slime's actually on him and gonna burn.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
I can actually do them.
Oop, up here.
And that is plus 5. 18.
Plus 5. You otherwise give him a quick look over. You do see that around the inner portion of the leather mitts that he's wearing, there is a little bit of that slime where it's congealed from where he was carrying the body, and it seeped through. But you can see the leather has otherwise prevented it from burning through. Although it does seem to be attempting to, it's not quick. It would take several hours to burn through the thick leather, it would seem. But
Okay. I will point out where the slime is. Hey, you've got slime here. It does look like it's reacting, so I would probably take them off.
He otherwise kind of uses one, pulls the other one off, and then kind of does what he can to pull the other glove off without touching either of them, kind of throws them to the ground. Thank you. He kind of reaches behind and just begins to rub the base of his spine. I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
I don't blame you. I'm going to use Mage Hand to put the gloves on the cart.
Okay.
You know, so it's all
Okay.
together.
Okay. Romulus, what did you get on your animal handling?
19.
19. Eat quickly enough, you go over and you kind of grab the reins and stroke the mane, and you watch the horse kind of immediately calms down, sits in place, and doesn't overreact or panic, it would seem.
There's nothing going on in that little head, is there? No. Only horse thoughts. Grass. Maybe something about hay.
I'll go check off any slime on the orc that got away and was hiding.
Okay.
Yes,
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I should probably wipe off my horns.
Yeah, I'm going to be wiping off my arm as well. Did it come out relatively clean? Or...
Oh,
From
good
your
job.
arm, it was mainly just a squeeze and a crushing force. However, you did take a point of acid damage, and you do see that a bit of blood has been drawn, and you do see portions of your arm are suffering light burns in places, but there was definitely physical contact with your skin.
Would I
Ready.
be seeing that moving over to Vinny?
You definitely would. You
Yeah.
move over and you see
Okay.
like a portion of where his red skin is otherwise a lighter pinker red skin.
Alright.
And you see it's a bit more raw with kind of sections of green where it has burned into the surface of it with almost like pot marks on the surface of it.
Don't worry. I'll help you, and I lay my hands on him.
Okay. How many points do you wish to use? And for what effect?
Good question.
It would be one. It would be 1 point per point of healing you wish to put there. Or
Right.
alternatively, it would be 5 if you wish to cure a disease or poison.
Probably to, yeah, sort of kind of cure whatever's going on with his arm.
Okay. So expend 5 points. As you otherwise place your hand on the surface of Vinny's arm, Vinny, you kind of feel this sudden pain and tingle before you watch as kind of tiny green droplets pull out, and you watch as they just run off the surface of your skin and burn as they hit the ground.
Oh, thank you for that. That could have gotten nasty.
Oh,
Well done back there, by the way.
You fought well.
oh, look at Vinny. Hey, I haven't actually met you, but I heard that these things envelop and kill, so I had to get that off of you. Sorry if it hurt. Really sorry.
No, it's fine. I got my own back at it, so
Okay, as long as you're alright.
yeah, I'll be fine. It's painful, but and for a moment,
Meanwhile,
his voice takes on a slight incantation of more force of personality. I've been through worse. I'll be fine. I say as I cast healing word on myself.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that.
I got a fake 20 on my investigation.
A fake 20. You otherwise go over. You see that he otherwise doesn't have any green mass on the surface of his mitts or his garbs. Doesn't seem to be any on him. He seems to be fairly safe where he was carrying the body by the other end. He doesn't seem to have caught the majority of it from what happened. He also doesn't seem to be injured at all where he was on the ground, so he didn't fall off the back of the cart. But he does seem to be panicked or slightly stressed.
That was 6 healing, by the way. Off that.
Okay, excellent. So give yourself the 6 points of healing. Okay.
I'm just chilling here. Oh, yeah, I'm just chilling here.
Okay.
I'm admiring the master of carrot.
A master of carrot. Yep. He goes back. He puts the carrot down for a moment as these two kind of move over and they begin burning the body hit or the slime there, kind of using sacred flame over and over and burning away portions of it as it bubbles and boils, giving off kind of this dark green black smoke that begins to rise and dissipate into the air around. The one with the carrot kind of looks at the carrot for a moment and just kind of slides it in his belt.
I'm Romulus.
This one over here simply begins to burn this one. Sorry.
By the way, we haven't been introduced. The name's Romulus.
Vinny, lovely to meet you. I offered a shake, but under the circumstances, maybe not the best idea.
Probably.
My name's Kat.
Well fought, Vinny. My name is
should
Damien.
we do an awkward elbow touch? Look, quarantine campaign. I had to.
No, that's
It's
fair.
fair.
That's fair. I'll give it to you.
Oh, please, and buy me dinner first.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm fortunate that we ran into you.
I mean, we could buy dinner. It's a bit early.
Where are you all headed, out of interest?
Here. I'm gonna point to the building. We've got to meet someone. Well, me and Romulus anyway.
Just sort of shout back, Lloyd, you okay?
Yes, yes. I'm calming down the orc.
We all seem to be congregating next to this like burning blob.
1 second, I'll be there. I attempt to calm down the orc and
Oh, hello
Okay.
there.
bring him to the guards.
Yeah. Okay. He otherwise comes out with you. The guard who's otherwise traveling with you kind of wanders up and or the knight, sorry, wanders up and just goes, "Is everyone all right?"
Seem to be.
Mostly, yes.
All right. I noticed that you got touched by it. Is it all right?
It's all fine. I will show him the arm. Not 100% healed, but well treated, and no sign of the green lingering.
Right. We'll do a double check just to be sure, given what happened. Thank you for
Fair enough,
helping
fair
in
enough.
this.
Has everyone forgotten that I literally got enveloped?
Yep.
That's
I
right.
popped through it.
Are you quite
Oh
all
shit!
right?
You're not a plague knight. Fuck.
No, no. Technically not. Just looking similar. No, you're quite all right there.
My feet hurt.
We'll take a look at those. We'll do that when we get inside. For now, stay out here while we handle things. And Oh, yeah. Right. You be as you were. I'll be back in a minute. He wanders off.
Bye, friend.
Oh, everyone, this is Kay.
Nice
Uh,
to meet you, Kay.
Hi,
Hello.
Kay.
Kay's gonna go look at Cat. Never seen one like you before.
Okay.
I've never seen
You're
someone like you before either.
no. You're
Oh,
very.
I've seen one of you, pointing at Romulus.
Yep.
Hmm.
I assure you, no one is like me. After all, I am me, and no one
Oh,
else is, to my knowledge.
yeah, you're very correct. You are Romulus, and Romulus is you, and me. I am Cat. I'm gonna try and shake Kay's hand. Whatever.
Okay.
Oh, I'll just hand it out anyway.
Okay. You kind of stretch down, kind of stretching out your hand, and a otherwise leather mitt kind of wraps around yours. I assume you shake your hand. Okay.
Yeah, he's still trying to understand what this whole handshaking thing's about, but
Yeah. It's awkward, but hand is shaken.
Hmm.
Hand is shooketh.
Yep.
There. But no, I am Cat, and I am a centaur. Have you not seen a centaur?
no. Never.
Huh.
I've never seen those either. Pointing at these two.
You've never seen a human before?
You've never seen humans?
No? Question mark? No. No,
No.
I don't think so.
No, your life has almost strictly consisted of dwarves, tieflings, and minotaurs for the most part, with the occasional other.
Aren't the guards humans?
They've got
You can't
masks
tell.
on.
They've all got masks
Oh
and
yeah,
fully
they've got
robes.
the
You
full
cannot
mask
see
thing.
any
Yeah, true,
exposed
true, true, true,
skin.
true.
You can't tell whether they are human, male, female. You do not know what they are.
As
They're
far
just
as we know, they could be a fully grown K.
This is also true, as far as you're aware.
That's worrying.
Hmm.
This
I.
isn't even his final form.
Okay. Well,
This is true.
I will. I'll just turn round to Damien and Lloyd. But
Oh,
not
by
seen
the way, I
humans.
say gesturing to Lloyd. Look, looks like you've got a little, up there. So
Lloyd?
gesturing to his head.
Hmm?
Lloyd?
I didn't hear, sorry. What did you say?
Yeah.
On your head, looks like you have a little. I just sort of wiping my own forehead.
No, 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 that is a scar. I am not injured anyway, don't worry. I am Lloyd. Nice to meet you. I give them a bow.
I am Damien.
And you, Vinny.
Vinny,
Pleasure meeting you.
I'm hungry.
Hungry? Oh, I might be able to help you. Hang on. Just gonna say Cheney is gonna reach into the bag. Can you grab the cheese? Just pull out a bit of cheese.
As you're otherwise standing there next to the centaur, you watch as she moves her hand, and you watch as this chain animates and moves, and there's this sudden piercing pain at the side of your head.
I'm out.
Huh. I guess he doesn't like cheese.
Okay, at seeing Kay recoil, I will back off with him as well. What is that? Gesturing to the chain.
That's Cychania. She's my friend.
Yeah,
Your friend hurts.
we'll lean down to Kay.
But she didn't touch you.
Twinklies,
What was it, Vinny?
sparklies.
Was it sparkly?
It was, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Sparkle. Shiny.
Doesn't seem like it's trying to hurt you.
It when it moved, it hurt head. Like being stabbed.
You hear a muffled sneeze from underneath Kay's mask.
I don't know where that came from.
Okay, I will kneel down and put a hand on his shoulder. You okay?
Yeah, just not going near that one.
Just got. At this point, I'm probably gonna have like a bit of cheese in my hand, but I have cheese. You said you were hungry.
All right. Okay. I take the cheese and pass it over. There. Solved.
I am not going back over there. There's food, but it is not worth it.
Okay. You take the cheese and pass it to Kay. You watch as there's like a momentary like turn, cloak flourished upwards as you hear like a munching sound from inside before the cloak comes back down and the cheese is gone.
Huh. Nice.
Yummy.
Very good.
So, do we go back to being guardish peoples? I don't know.
think we've got to wait.
The guard otherwise kind of wanders up. Alright, you two that were with us. We're going to move the rest of the cargo in now and arranging a few things. You said you wanted to talk to the person here?
If possible, yeah.
Alright, I can get you in and get you talking to the abbess, and she'll get you an audience with the head abbot as you asked for.
Oh.
What about the rest of you? Are you moving on, or do you need an escort out of here? What's going on?
We're here to see Alistair, me and Romulus.
No, we're here to see Professor
Who?
Janus.
Who?
Professor Janus. Unless I'm saying that wrong.
Another name I recognize. I mean, there is a professor inside, but I don't know if that's his name. I can ask if you'd like.
Go for it. We're here to see a Professor Janus.
You might as well come with if you're heading in. But what about you two?
Was this professor sent from the capital?
I don't know. I've been here a few weeks.
Fair enough.
We are here to. We were told by a fellow plague knight yesterday to report to the abbots. We bought one of these things yesterday.
Oh, you're the ones in the attack. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You might as well come in then. Might as well have you all handled at once.
To clarify, Professor Janus is the person we're looking for, right? I'm not going crazy.
No, you're not going crazy. Just the guard rolled low.
Okay. We're just here like, wait, shit. Did I get it wrong?
Nope. Okay. Okay. Heading inside with him.
I'm swiping a carrot, by the way.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. Whoops.
Is my character going to notice this?
Really? We'll find out. It's this versus passive perception, so we'll see.
Sleight of hand. That is. That is a 23.
That'll be a no then.
Nobody sees you. Quickly, silently, and subtly, the carrot disappears from the chopping board, and no one is the wiser. Okay. You pocket the carrot. It does 1 plus your dex modifier damage if you wish to use it as a weapon. You do not have proficiency, so it will just be your dex modifier added to the attack roll.
Look,
yes, it is a finesse-based weapon, and yes, you can 2-weapon fighting with it.
Just comes in dual-wielding carrots.
Look, we've all established that cook wizards are a thing. Now we're getting to chef rogues. Stab, throws carrot. All right. As you all head inside the interior to this, to the hospice itself, heading up the flight of stairs and moving into the space before you, you see that it is otherwise a large and open interior for the most part, or it would be anyway. As you head in, you can see that it has otherwise been converted from something, from some previous building, it would seem. You see it is otherwise long, standing about 60 foot in length, with what looks to be the two wings to the right and the left of it that are otherwise more enclosed compared to the actual hospice itself. Partially raised off of the ground with the storage yard underneath, you head into this open space where it's an open floor plan filled with beds covered with individuals. You see the individuals, they all seem to be alive and most of them groaning, with a large portion of them tied down. You can see a large number of them seem to have these almost dark red, yellow, and green sores and almost boils or rash covering bits of their shoulders, their arms, their knees, and their feet. As they otherwise kind of sit there, some of them wrapped up with rope to be held down, as some of them are kind of almost out of their mind to a certain degree. Slightly writhing and biting and kind of just lightly humming and saying things to themselves, and a few of them not necessarily screaming, but trying to. Others you can see are less afflicted, off to one side, currently having what looks to be sets of bandages and balms and other forms of medical attention being applied to joints, as you can see two individuals moving around this chamber. One of whom, as you look over, let me quickly get her description real quick. One of them seems to be a young and an early adulthood female green tiefling, short stumpy horns, and instead of a head of hair, she has what looks to be 4 large strands of what look to be almost tendrils or skin, with small bone hooks at the end of each strand. Despite this appearance, that is otherwise unpleasant, it seems to be relatively well kept, and you see that she seems to be a generally gentle individual, with 2 stud earrings, one in each ear, and what looks to be a simple tucked-in white shirt and brown woolen jumper, while also wearing an apron across the front and leather mitts to go with, as she's going around and applying various balms and salves and medication to these particular individuals who seem to be afflicted, who all look to be townsfolk in some regard. Another of whom looks to be in her later 30s, a female human of what looks to be a typical abbess attire for those who would recognize it, the white undergarment and the black overalls, and a number of metallic rings that hang from her belt. She otherwise has dark brown hair that is cut to just above her ear length, with no other standing out features bar a small scar that extends from her left side, from the left side of her lower lip. As you otherwise kind of move into the space, the guard steps forward, kind of keeping his head down, or not the guard, the Plague Knight steps forward, keeping his head down to a certain point, and kind of quickly steps forward through the area within, before he otherwise reaches what looks to be the older of these 2 women who are going around and helping out here. All of you but Cat hear this. As Cat, you are distracted looking around and seeing all of these individuals who are very ill in this particular scenario.
That's fair.
As the rest of you are otherwise kind of standing off to one side, you watch as the Plague Knight goes over. Abbess Tracy, these are the individuals that I spoke of. They're the ones who wanted to speak to you and Head Abbot. If they're looking for beds, you're going to have to send them elsewhere. I already told you this. If they're looking to speak to me in some other manner, then arrange an appointment. We're very busy at the moment. It's not really doable. These individuals, they've kind of come a long way. They helped out with 2 oozes that attacked your 2 corpsemen. You watch as she otherwise looks over towards the 2 of you, or the 6 of you rather, and strides over to you all. And you must be the individuals who helped outside?
Aye.
That would be us.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right. I thank you for
Yes.
the help. I thank you for helping the 2 of them and keeping them safe. But we're very busy at the moment. We're very overworked and overbeared, as you can tell. you're looking for any medical attention, I'm going to ask that you come back another time, or ask that the knights look you over. I can't help you in any other way, I'm afraid.
I just want to know if there's a Professor Janus here.
There is. He's currently very busy. Do you have an appointment with him, or...?
Yes. Catalogers.
Of course. Come at a time
Apologies.
like this. Of course you would.
Oh, we're here to help.
Are you all catalogers, or...?
No, just
No.
us two.
Just us two.
I point at us.
You're a knight of Paloon. You here to help?
I am here. We were passing through, but we helped with an attack yesterday, and we were asked to be checked out. I also need to see the head abbot.
And you two, I'm guessing, in on the ride?
I'm just here to be an extra pair of hands and help out however I can.
Same.
If the two of you are looking to help out, unless you're trying to get in contact with anyone, you can start here if you'd like. With our corpse carriers now out of it, you might need to load the rest of them onto the back of the cart. It's dangerous work, but we'll get you the gear to kit you up.
What about
In the
Kay's
meanwhile, I can get the four of you in to speak with the head abbot if he's about, and get you in contact with Professor Janus to try and figure out what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Lizette, you take it from here. I got to handle this. I'll be back shortly. Tell them what to do if you need any more assistance. And points to Vinny and Kay.
So, Kat, presumably we're going to try and help out after we've talked to the professor, right?
Oh, most certainly, but I'm not touching bodies. I no.
Really, it's very simple. I mean,
And
they're
you're banned
just...
from touching bodies. Let them rest in peace.
What? I was just going to carry them over to where I was told to carry them.
As long as you promise that's all you're gonna do, I don't know. Sometimes I
Look.
question.
As much as you absolutely can make a very competent back scratcher out of a humanoid arm and hand, it's disrespectful.
Is there something I should be worried about here?
No, but I feel like I'm gonna be sick.
No, you see, I make
Alright,
I'm a hunter.
you
I make
two
things on my own.
move along, get going to your
Here's my
conversation.
my hairbrush made out of a hedgehog.
Let's go. Just before we get
That's too much. I'm tempted to take away inspiration because I like it.
Look, it died naturally. I wanted to make sure it was put to good use.
I'm literally just gonna walk up, grab Romulus'
Wow.
hand, and just walk
okay.
slowly.
Pull him along.
Well,
yep.
I'm going to finger quotes pull because come on, with my strength.
I don't resist at all.
Yeah, we don't need
In
to
fact,
resist.
I assist.
Oh, good. I need it.
You two. Kay, Vinny, was it?
Yes.
You're more of the fighting sort. If they end up being tasked to hunt down whatever these ooze things are doing around here and find the source, if you head in with them, I can cover you for now, and then you can help out with the bombs and the medical side of things and carrying whatnot afterwards. You're more of the fighting sort. You've already said that. You're guardsmen, as far as we're concerned. So, if you head in with them, maybe you'll pick up a few things. Maybe there's something more you can do.
Sounds good to me.
Hang on,
Yep,
Romulus.
sounds good.
You both seem skilled with the blade, so...
One sec,
That's
Romulus.
certainly true.
Vinny,
She meant. Oh yes.
make sure you get Kay's feet checked.
I'll
yes.
be fine. I'll be fine. Okay.
She mentioned something about getting us kitted out.
I believe that's for carrying the bodies.
That was for carrying the bodies, yes. Leather
sense.
mitts and an apron for carrying the bodies out. Yeah, I'll have a word with the volunteers, see if they're going to be sent home early or whatever, but we'll see. For now, head in and have a conversation. You say what you need to say, and we'll meet up afterwards. Thank you for out there.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. Tracy otherwise looks back at the rest of you, Cat dragging Romulus as best she can with Damien, Lloyd, Vinny, and Kay. You all following?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All following this abbess. You otherwise travel past this main room and what looks to be kind of thick leather strips have been otherwise hanging across a doorway. She pushes them aside and otherwise enters into what looks to be some form of makeshift kitchen before pushing past again, going up to a door and kind of just lightly knocking on the door itself. Head Abbott, we've got people here to see you. She opens the door, and all of you see before you the current scene. You see a fairly small and enclosed room. A large table in the center, which looks not old and rickety, but it's not in the best condition. You can see that there is a map otherwise lying over the top that otherwise has the entire city in question shown. And you can see what looks to be off to one side a desk where an individual, kind of a older humanoid of an older humanoid lineage, otherwise sits over to one side and is currently writing a few things down. Actually, just got to make sure that he is human because I forgot I don't have his description in here.
If it's the head abbot that I know, yes.
The head abbot is human. He's at the main desk. I'm just checking Janice's lineage. I completely forgot that I actually needed to double check his versus everybody else's. Yes, yeah, and you see what looks to be an older individual currently wearing glasses, currently sat down writing a few things, and standing opposite the desk from him, you see what looks to be a bright orange male dragonborn. Two large horns that point backwards, following the line of his snout, while smaller spikes protrude from his spine. His features are somewhat damaged, with several scales marked or pulled free by large clawed scars or striations across his chest. He wears what looks to be a long leather overcoat and white shirt and tie, as well as dark leather trousers, as he otherwise kind of turns and looks as this troop is entered in. And you see standing by the table what looks to be a later 50s elderly male human with a thinning silver hair, a set of spectacles, and rosary beads on which both hang small metallic iconography. Upon which hang both small metallic iconography as well as the nails. His attire is the same as that of an abbot, with the white undergarments and black overalls, as well as the traditional leather belt. However, he has what looks to be wrapped around his wrists what look to be cuff bindings, what would be mistaken for prisoners' bindings in certain degrees, but without the chain connecting the two of them. Manacles. There we go. And you can see that they are of a gold decoration. Those of you familiar with the Order of Abbots, which I believe is just Damien, this is a recognition of him being a teacher.
Okay.
He is the one in charge, so to speak.
To clarify, am I there or not?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. Would I get from what the other abbess said that this is the same as the gold thing in sort of like it denotes something?
It's not a denotion of skill. It is a denotion of rank. The cuff, anyway.
Right. Gotcha.
Oh, what? Okay, what is going on, Tracy? These individuals, they helped outside. There was another ooze attack, and these individuals are offering their assistance and help. There's a Knight of Paloon who's here. The supplies have arrived with the other two, and then these two are from the Catalogers Guild looking to speak to Janice. Right, it's a bit of a meeting. Who would like to begin, I guess? Anyone?
Kay will just go sit in a corner and wait his turn because he wants to go last.
Okay. Well, I guess we were here for the catalogue and stuff, so might as well get this done and find out
Right.
some information.
We're here. I've gestured to myself and Cat, are here on behalf of the Catalogers Guild, and our intention was to meet with Professor Janus and see what we can do to assist in this situation, whilst also doing what we can, what we must as catalogers.
The individual to one, the kind of mid-40s, black hair, slicked back, kind of the more professional attire. Human off to one side behind the desk with the Dragonborn opposite him kind of goes, that would be for me. You said you're from the Catalogers Guild, so you must be working with Alistair here?
Yes.
Right. Well, if you're looking to do various things, I believe, Alistair, you'll be able to inform them on the exact details on what needs to be taken care of, or am I to assist in this matter? I mean, you know the notes as well as I do. Dragonborn turns. I'll take care of them. Not worry. You hunter and a other hunter. Smaller hunter. Yes?
Yeah, no. I can't remember what my role was, and I can't find my note on it. I do more the paperworky side of stuff. I don't fight very well.
Explorer type, yes?
Mhm.
Right.
Keep
Yes.
records. Okay.
Looking for the exact term?
I'm trying to find it. I'm looking through all of these flipping notebooks.
Ecologist.
That's the one.
Yep. If you're looking for thing to do, we trying to locate place of origin
Okay.
of ooze things. You watch as he kind of taps a jar on top of the desk.
Right.
The jar has what looks to be a little bit of what looks to be green sediment in the bottom of it.
Right. Your sample.
Can't find home of things. It's coming from all over. And he gestures to the map in the middle on the big table.
Okay. Alright. Then we're going to need some information, i.e., the first person that contracted this and the location of the first few attacks. Maybe we can triangulate from that. If you have that information.
He looks over to the professor, who goes, I'll get that all sorted for you. Yes, I can get those documents all prepared up for you to examine, or alternatively, the abbot, I believe, is the one handling the medical records. If he knows them just offhand, I'm not sure. The head abbot kind of looks around. At this point, are you all together or are you separate?
Well,
I'm having a hard time.
we're kind
You're
of
all a very
separate,
mixed
but...
bag. The only ordinary one is you, points at Damien. No
kind of
offense,
separate,
but
we've been dragged into this together somehow.
All right.
So...
Well, that feels a little racially charged, but no.
We've
I
arrived in
I
separate
I get
pairs.
it. Right.
I have
Well,
arrived with my fellow human. The tiefling and Kay have a pair, and then
Me
you
and
already
my
know about the
guardian.
cataloguers.
We came separately and happened to meet up due to the situation outside.
right. Well, from what I know, if you're all looking to help in your own way, as the professor and as Alistair said, we're trying to pinpoint the location of the slime attacks. We don't entirely know if they are the cause of the disease. They seem to pass it on, but it doesn't link with the initial contraction of what has happened. there were no sightings of what happened. The creatures wouldn't have passed on the disease naturally. The ones who first contracted this were children. That's what's confusing. 8 of them in all. 7 of them passed away. We weren't prepared for the initial outbreak.
Okay.
They contracted it from what we understand from outside the city, and they came in, and it spread like wildfire, and then these creatures started popping up a few weeks later.
Did
It's only recently they've been getting worse and worse.
oh, did that one child that did survive say where they went?
I haven't spoken to them. Their family's been mourning, and from what I understand, she lost her brother, and as well as a lot of their friends at the time.
Oh, feels like
I
it could
can,
be
I can
insensitive.
give you, I can have Lizette take you to their home if you want to ask, but be careful. They are still a family in mourning.
It's true. It would be it would be very helpful if we could. I would recommend being very small amount of people go because don't want it to be an interrogation.
Hmm.
Even if I just go alone with Lizette.
I'll leave the methods up to you for that if that's something you wish to pursue, but we haven't for the sake of the family. They were the first ones to contract it, and since then it's been kind of random individuals almost being infected slowly but surely, with very few surviving the initial infection. Since then, the bodies were dealt with and handled by our first corpse carriers before they contracted it, and it spread. Seems to spread through initial contact, but there's no clear pattern from what we can tell outside of physical contact, but it's hard to tell.
Okay.
It takes a few days to kick in. By that
Understandable.
point, you've already got the first stage, and it's beginning to spread rapidly.
Right. Well, if I could arrange a meeting with the one child that has remained, just try and keep it.
Tracy, if you could, I know we're all very busy, if you could write up a letter of something just for this individual. What was your name, young miss?
My name's Kat.
Kat.
Mhm.
Get this young lady, Kat, to go and do the talking. Are you sure you don't need somebody else to go with you?
Well, I mean, you can send someone with. No offense, Romulus, but I don't know if taking you would be a good idea. You're quite intimidating to a child that's gone through some stuff.
If you just want to talk to these people, I could come along.
Yeah? No, that would be cool. Okay, if Vinny could join me.
That's, by all means, that's fine if you wish to do that and pursue that.
Yes,
Yes.
use the power of the pretty man.
What was your other question? You said about the first who contracted it, and then
So
what?
First who contracted it and the first sightings of attacks. But if they were
First
from...
sightings of attacks were about a week and a half ago. The first contractions were about 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Wow, you've had a quarantine in place within a week and a half.
We've only had the quarantine in place 2 weeks after the Plague Knight so showed up, just before the attacks started taking place.
Right.
So people have been dying and being infected for a while before the attack started.
Yes,
recent
very much so. It was a recent development that these attacks took place. We were having the bodies taken outside the city to be burned and then buried, and it was going well until the attacks started occurring. Which is why we're... He gestures to the map before him, and you see it is covered with small red dots. There is no rhyme or reason from what you can tell at a cursory glance.
Can I get a reminder? With the ones that were outside, did they come from inside the bodies?
Yes, they did.
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, have the ooze things come out of every corpse or no?
No, the nature of them is unknown at the moment, but it seems they consume dying flesh. It's why they go after from what we understand, surface skin and dead creatures. They otherwise attack it, attach onto it, and draw it away, and they use it to heal or reproduce. We're not sure. But they're found more commonly around those who are dead. So far, we've had. He looks over at Janice, and Janice kind of looks up. We've had 7 houses burned by the Plague Knights so far due to a intense level of infection and the findings of several of these oozes inside of their home. The bodies otherwise stripped clean with bones being mostly cleaned out of marrow as well.
Hmm.
I assume that the first people succumbed to this infection before the oozes appeared?
That is quite possible. The bodies were buried outside of town rather than burned. We didn't start burning them until the infected started mounting up quite heavily. That's when we had a cleric of the Raven Queen show up, and she started taking the bodies and burning them under ceremony.
Who now?
A cleric of the Raven Queen. She's outside of town in a small crypt. You can find it to the southwest of town. It's not far from here. She's okay. She's come and gone from that place every so many years or so when there's a lunar event, but she's come early this year. Said that she sensed something was wrong and started helping with the dead.
Meanwhile, Kay's over here wondering what a Raven Queen is.
Right. I mean, I don't know if it might be an idea to potentially go back. Did you say it was from an alley? Looking at Damien and Lloyd. That you got attacked from?
Yes, that's
Yesterday?
what we got attacked from. You could have a look there.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was any access ways, like a sewer or holes or something where they're coming from, potentially.
Suppose it's worth a check.
True.
You watch as Janice kind of goes, as there's no sewer in the city that's functioning anymore. It's since the use of the convenience crystals, thanks to Lord Bevots's donations as of late. Well, not as of late. Over the years, we have done away with the sewer system entirely. From what I have gathered from all of this, I don't know the entire extent of the details, but there is an old sewer in place, but it's not in use. If that's any helpful information.
Okay, if it's not in use, then potentially there could be things down there and not being flushed out. Has anyone investigated it in recent times?
Not to my knowledge. No, it's because it's no longer in use. It's more used during the rain seasons, to catch the extra rainwater and otherwise take it away.
There's no possibility that a body found its way down there, is there?
Unless somebody was down there, probably not. No.
Okay. Just trying to explore every route that is a potential.
I can't advise you where to go, but if you're doing this, there are plenty of avenues we haven't explored. I can get you some records to look at regarding the initial things that happened. I can potentially get you in contact with the daughter who lost her friends and brother. But I don't know much else I can do. It will mainly be on your investigations. I can help to a certain degree, but only by so far.
No, that would be helpful. All the records and trying to get a statement from the witness would
All the
actually
records
help.
might be hard to acquire, though a lot of them have fallen behind since we got overwhelmed.
It was more the initial records, if in all fairness. The more recent ones, I mean, there are probably more witnesses to the recent ones than the historical ones. So
Yes.
the historical ones would be most useful because I can review them and see if there's any underlying features that seem to be repetitive amongst them all.
Right. That is. I can get that for you.
Thank you.
Looks over at the professor. Looks over at Alistair. Is there anything else you needed help with? You were. You two, Cat and
Romulus.
Romulus. You two were here on behalf of the cataloguers, so I imagine you'll refer to Alistair should you need any more contact. Vinny, was it?
That's me.
And your small friend. You were just here to help?
We came in on one of the caravans delivering supplies, but I decided to see if I could be of more use elsewhere.
Thank you very much for that. If we've got the supplies, we can start treating more people, and hopefully the number of infected will go down. We can hope.
I was also interested in speaking with someone, Vincent. Is it Vincent Cunningway?
That would be me.
Yeah. If things
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Sorry, my ears. I couldn't hear
They
them
ain't
for a
what they
second.
used to be.
Hold on a second, cure wounds. There we go. Let's say that again.
If things get better in the city and we can actually help, I wanted to have a chance to speak with you. Somebody recommended I speak to you while I'm here.
Right, that should be fine. Yes, I can arrange that sort of thing easily. Yes, once the workload has gone down, I'm sure I can make some time for that sort of thing. And you two, looking at Lloyd and Damien, and you were here for.
Lloyd, did you have anything to ask? Besides, we needed checking. We were involved in the attack yesterday.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Not really, no. We just need to
We need to be
get checked out.
just quickly
before.
checked over. I have a
Yeah.
couple of requests to make of you, Head Abbott, but I would like to do those in private if possible.
I'll see what I can do, depending on the nature of what you need discussed. Will you be helping in these endeavors with the rest of them?
Yes, I don't think we have any immediate plans other than to help at the moment. Yes.
Very well. I'll leave you to investigations, and I'll get up some. I'll get the files or the records for all the medical information that otherwise happened. Do be careful not to touch anybody infected, and if anybody tries to reach out for you on your way out, please just try to avoid them.
Also, if we could have that letter for me and Vinny to go see the witness.
Oh, yes. I'll make sure that Tracy hands that to you before you leave.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, I'll go get those records for you.
Thank you.
And so, as our adventuring group for the first time comes together under the pretense of a few slimy things, they otherwise gather together, helping the sick and the poor alike. How noble. It's a start, I suppose. I guess we'll end it there for the day. Hopefully they don't find anything unexpected in the sewers. Or what it used to be, anyway. Thank you for watching Crabby D&D, this first session. And we will be back next week for session 2 to continue the story. Thank you for watching.